Look at how Korea starts this as well. This looks like a face mid though. 3 walk mid and 3 swing mid. What is this? What is this? Hello? Hello? Bone cold on a pistol. I mean, name a better combo right now. And then we do have the flash coming in. Spike has been recovered and now a casual 1v3 awaiting. Let's see what Chihuahua can get out of it.
Just off the rip. Yeah, going for some early aggression. This is what I was talking about with Acend, right? It's the variance that they're able to do with this. Kilo's actually tucked in his camera, and that's all the way on the long. So he's going to give away his position. Chihuahua does get tagged, but doesn't spot Kilo's out on cross back over. Again, no real reason to challenge that solo right now. They've got fantastic control across, but I was going to need to find a kill pretty soon if he wants to try and cover this round. And Bone Cold might be the first to find this contact, Lauren.
And this is over in 3, 2, no. Okay, Chihuahua makes room. There we go, game on. Finds a freebie, heard the Sky Flash, can put together the Sky will be in mid. That's a spike plant. Now, does he get too much time? No, he's got the camera towards window. That's information. This is huge. Put together the last piece of the puzzle. Now, what does he note from this? There are 2 players in garage here. Now, he's heard enough of the steps. Surely that's enough to hear 2 potential steps. He spots out 1 and Starkso finds him, but a very good attempt. I love the idea. You could see the concept just kind of whirring away in his head there.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately finding that kill and put a few more pennies in the bank, so to say, and 3 kills to boot as well. So a little bit of ultimate progress as well. Unfortunate there. I mean, if he catches both on the spy cam there, you can see him obviously holding towards defensive spawn there, trying to find out the location
like a 50-50, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, as soon as he hears both sets of footsteps, he has to face in some regard. Yeah. Nice try nonetheless, but I mean, straight away off the bat, Acend, they're happy to get aggressive here. Over actually towards NIP.
Cover going out.
See, actually, if they look to get any space early on, you're Astra on C long, but it's 3 members of Acend actually stacked up behind this.
Just a few. All right, Codimenter as well. This is what a weird and wonderful round and game this is going to be. Sheriffs always pose a light problem, but I don't think we have to be too nervous just yet. Again, finding ways to make them work is going to be a little tricky, but a unique triple stack towards C to begin with. Leaning back through garage and then kind of going towards the window, kind of in between that B-C connector. And there's going to be a little information found. Second bit of info found. That's not bad. That's enough to kind of keep you at least feeling somewhat present as to where you remain. I still want to see how Astra works out. What are your thoughts on Astra? Have you played it much?
Well, the interesting one for me is if we get the chance to see 2 Astras face off. I think that's going to be the most exciting. But, you know, actually for a team like NIP, having that kind of ability to kind of set things up preemptively is the thing that excites me the most about seeing Astra become a part of some of these compositions. And actually, as I say that, you can see here they are trying to set themselves up, find their way onto B site. Nobody on the side of Acend here. It's actually 3 over towards A.
It's safe to play retake.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. I mean, it's sketchy. Don't get me wrong, but out of all the sites, it's pretty harder to retake C and A. So why not try and play retake on B? You've got utility. You've got the better weapons. Should be fine.
All goes up.
Yeah, already halfway through on the defuse. Codimenter finds one. Codimenter finds another. And yeah, this is lovely work. Rhyme's gonna get at least the exit on CNED. His aim sharp today, but the round is secured. Very well handled. And I like that mentality of, you know, just retaking onto B rather than having to sit and fight and, you know, beginning kind of pick down, work down. Really smart approach from Ascender.
Last player standing.
And again, be mindful of the utility as well. Codimenter holding onto his wall there, obviously anticipating the fact that they're going to reset back towards and try and hold that spike plant from mid. In fact, he's still got his wall available there. It's just things even easier for them. And actually, Bone Cold going to carry the Sheriff through to this one. A Spectre, a Bulldog. If actually they try and convert this with some aggression, going to make a player. Bone Cold going to tuck himself into cubby on C long, but
huge.
It's a lot of territory, yeah, early on.
Exactly, it alleviates the pressure away from, you know, Sage and Cypher, so they can start maybe leaning towards the rest of the map a little early on, because right now they're filling the void. Now, NIP starting to make progress. Enough steps are being heard here. And Kukos going to try and find some information. Does. But might have noted 2 there, considering the shot came from the other side. So maybe, again, this is all the information game. Just trying to piece together the puzzle, pull away utility. Kriya towards middle. And we saw those 2 players who were kind of left a little loose because they were able to post up Bone Cold down C long. And there's the first. Acend find Akukos. Now, Akukos was isolated from the others. They've been slow working middle. And Seeker's invested here. This is quite nice. This is a big information reveal. You see Quarterfinals wanted to swing in with that. Try and play in with the ultimate, but doesn't get the right angle on it. Gets found for free. And now 4v4. Flash, push, no.
Let's go over it. Acend actually going to follow up, finds Chihuahua there, but see a 2v3 here. Uncold's got to find something from mid here if Acend has any chance of really coming in. He does find that. JD will fall. Now brings it to a 2v2. Acend spots out one player. Actually going to try and counter peek onto the other there. Bone Cold will find another one here. They put it to a 2v1.
Korea's position was uncomplimentary towards the crossfire, and Acend on the way back in. That crossfire was flawed, and I loved how Acend and Bone Cold worked out which favorable angles were where.
Yeah.
That was so intelligent to allow no trade to come in after just scouting that bit of info. And you got to say, out of the 2 of them, scariest duo to try and deal with as well out of this team. Like, I'd pick anyone else.
A Bone Cold and a Sheriff. We're back to talking about it once again. But I mean, the timing on that is perfect, and again, Acend's able to just kind of create this distraction so long. There's only one person from NIP watching mid. That double crossfire onto A Link finds absolutely no value, and ultimately Ryan's forced all the way back towards C Link. He's not even then in a position to trade out Kriya.
It's quite nice. I like that. And I love pushing up Bone Cold to that position. Wait, where's that come from? Quarterfinals just gets a freebie to start with. Rhyme's gone down. Oh, that was on C long. Maybe just got caught in the corner. Able to make it away. Again, look at this aggression on defending side. The classic crossfire that we talk about, again. This works really well. One gets contact and then Bone Cold swings, and you have a really nice set piece. Now, it can be noted, and I wonder how much so. Starks is trying to keep the angle safe. There's going to be a lot of targets here who they're just going to zerg them if they get the angle. And there it is. There's the crossfire. Perfectly done. And lovely control. Just showing you how it's done.
And this is one of the things I talked about, right? The fact that NIP do these kind of fact-finding rounds. And right there, I mean, if you don't show any presence into A lobby, this is always a possibility of having 2 players get themselves this deep and find, ultimately, I mean, even if they trade 2 for 2 there, it's still a win for Acend, right? Yes, you know that the hit's more than likely going to come through. You can rotate one over. But the fact that this fight occurs so deep into lobby, it just gives them so much time. It's not almost like, you know, they find those 2 kills NIP on the way in and they get instant access to site.
Oh, the high sky flash with the short take. That's a really nice little set piece to get some territory. I like that. But look at Acend. They're just kind of flexing this aggression. Shown presence deep down mid. This could spur on the hit towards A little quicker as a response coming in from the attacking side. And already you can see that they're considering it. They're not quite out on site yet, but there you go. Acend now noted the op is out in play.
Let's see. Healer's trying to back away on having those Seekers stuck on something underneath. He will get a plant down here. JD does have the Hunter's Fury available as well. I was about to say the Bladestorm available for Acend if they want to try and get in on this early. Everybody's stacked up close enough. Yeah, tap it through, but the wall's still available as well. They put it down once again. Hunter's Fury invested. That looked like a big tag onto a couple of players there. But it's still Acend coming out with the kills, Lauren.
It is. Look at the blind Chihuahua is absolutely unaware. What? And now Starkso left in, what, a 1v2 now. Spike's still ticking. He's got to do some work, and he can't make it quite happen. Chihuahua, that was just mayhem on the site.
I'm pretty sure did JD get like 3 tags with that first Hunter's Fury?
I think they were like stacked, man.
But again, the fact that Acend is still able to find some kills on the way in here, I'm actually really, really impressed by that. And that was with an IP not even fully resetting away from site. NIP will post there first. Acend 4-1 up now, and Showstopper on 90 hour got the neural theft. The JD did invest his, and once again look for some early control over towards A. This is a better look. Don't allow Acend to set up in the way.
I don't know about Bone Cold. He's been baited in. That's so sick. And now if you're going to see a Kukos then get the information towards site, he can get the perfect time flank. I wonder if Bone Cold's going to just 1,000 IQ this. He's heard all these steps, The wall's gone up, so they can't progress any further. But they have no idea that he's still here. Now he's in trouble though. That splits the angle, gets himself out of it, tries to use all that util, turns the flash, still alive, isolates another. Bone Cold is so good, but JD's aim is sharp as attacked and straight away just swings towards Coldamenta, almost undoes all of that benefit the Bone Cold just garnered.
Huge from him. And actually, Coldamenta, you know, in terms of timing, the counter peak's perfect, but fortunately, JD lands both headshots there. Players will find Chihuahua on the way in garage. And actually, but after that start, NIP now struggling a little bit as this round progresses. Ned will find a Kukos. JD last man standing now. Will find his third, but 9 HP. Starzo will greet him through connector once again. Again, Acend just able to respond onto that perfectly. And this is the problem, right? They find all that value. Well, I say all that value. It's JD really finding those 2 kills, but they're not in a position to capitalize on it. It happens so deep that the timing still plays into Ascend's favor.
Still love that play from Bone Cold just to kind of slip through the net. 5-1 though. Oof.
I think NIP were almost anticipating it, you know, immediately on the back of those 2 kills, Acend to, you know, push somebody else through garage or through mid or try and flank that, but
yeah.
Again, it takes so much time for an IP to go and re-explore elsewhere on the map.
Now, we do have a timeout here, and I mean, in your everyday games, I'd say this map. I don't say it's not like attack biased, but you're expected to get a few rounds. You can get some rounds on your belt, but this is so far pretty astounding, and they've broken the money. So this would be probably what 6-1 if it continues.
I think so, and much quicker this time around. Rhyme gets himself immediately down there.
So sick.
Cold just absolutely clotheslined.
That was so good, and I've been loving that little kind of like combo with the Sky Flash over the top as well. It's super nice. Speaking of, easy now. Don't just get your hawk out willy-nilly. You got to be careful with it. Ned finding Chihuahua now knows what's happening. Fully aware. Ned still just doing Ned things. Kiles does the dance. And yeah, we had that little bit of a scuffle at the start, but yeah, to see if anything comes from it. Rhyme just Ferrari peeking Ned. That's a bit of a rarity. Don't often get to see Ned outdone at all. And now we are into a 3v2. There's very much a chance in this, but Kiles is so solid normally. This is where he kind of gets his value. This is bread and butter, but again, outdone. Kukos is in the middle of that, essentially a smoke in the middle, just unexpectedly waiting. And again, a 3v2 because the res was invested.
Okay.
Why are you peeking on your own?
Yeah, Kukos finds the operator and punishes that peek from Starzo. No reason to swing out there that early.
Oh dear, we've made a mess of this. Have you ever just seen a tragedy happening? You know, those like slow-mo car crashes. This is looking a whole lot like it. Now, Rhyme buys time and wait till the very end of this and post it, and apparently a Kukos now an Oppa. Alright, and this is just a cacophony of errors that have happened, and Acend will be embarrassed by this round. Excellent play from a Kukos, but he punished every single mistake, and Coldamenta, well, he knows it. This one's looking all but over. Does find a Kukos, but look who's lurking at the back of the site, always ever present in case there was any worries. There isn't.
Yeah. Fantastic. Nail on the head. There was a couple of mistakes there and immediately punished by NIP. I love the little bait there. The fact that Rhyme plays his life. As soon as Chihuahua kind of tries to spam it out, as soon as Rhyme crosses past the cage and connector, and the Kukos just sits there. It's a matter of time there. Unless Chihuahua can find that kill immediately, he has no way to back out of that. Beautiful stuff from NIP in that round. And again, that's on the back of actually finally finding some value trying to respond onto this early A aggression from Acend. Let's see. Try and... I thought it might try and stun there.
Ooh.
You can see the setup.
Ned's in trouble. I mean, okay, well, you know, you're either locked in there with him. I don't know which way you really pull this one. Ned is still tucked into this corner. Now, yes, he's somewhat safe. They can't really clear him from this too easily, but again, This is, I guess it's dwindling some time. There's going to be a fight towards middle, potentially. If Chihuahua continued forward, he would be found on the other side. And there it is. Finally makes it out.
Escape. Good Batestorm, though, and again, NIP haven't progressed at all. Right now, they're going to have to come back. I mean, Chihuahua's the deepest of any of them right now. You can see he's tucked up outside B entry, and expect them to lean towards C. And Chihuahua try and find a cheeky kill elsewhere. Keeler's, though, posted with the Bucky. Might find Rhyme on the way in here, but Rhyme, again, a fantastic opener by him.
Rhyme's making some space here, and Bone Cold now. See what this man can do with this gun. Not getting much of a chance, though, sadly. Yeah, overnumbered, making sure there's no easy trades. CNED's the only game changer really in this one, and considering he does have his ultimate. Okay. Oh, it's sloppy, but it's working so well. 2 kills, but Rhyme does him better. Locks it down, denies the threat, and contains it.
Decent round, though, considering the investment on the side of Acend there. Did a bit of damage and gonna make too much of a dent. See, once again, you're right, sloppy, but still finds 2 kills with the Blade Storm. And actually, I mean, it landed a couple there. I'm pretty sure Rhyme and JD are taking some damage elsewhere in that round, so the door open. Then again, going to lean 3 towards A. Nobody on the side of NIP to greet them outside lobby initially, but now I'm going to send anybody too deep. I think just retrieving that orb and going to back up slightly.
CNED! Just leaves you winded. Rhyme not going to get the better this time. He doubles down on it, and now does he go for a third? Yes, but Kriya on the deeper angle. Smart work, and maybe a little too greedy on the peak, but I don't blame CNED. He only wins them more than he loses. So now of what? A 4v3 at this point. Trades coming in again. Akuko's going to get one, but trades out. Kriya still there. Holds the line, and this is just brutality from both sides. Look at the flank from Chihuahua. Is it red? Is it expected? Yeah. And yeah, you're right.
Ooh.
But he still wins the fight.
And actually now, Bone Cold's making his all way. I was going to say he had the perfect opportunity for that flank there. Tries to throw out the camera set up in window as well.
I have retrieved the spike.
Cold gonna have to rethink his flank. Raoul will get the plant down. Pretty safe on backside as well. Bone Cold just running into every piece of Chihuahua's utility right now. The trap wire goes off, and that actually, yeah, he's going to get close enough to find these footsteps. This is awful for Bone Cold.
Oh. While I can just chill on this. Ooh. Got a little sketchy.
Yeah, he's just going to chill.
Yeah, super chilled. Super chills. No worries. Look, they've closed the gap. It's 4-5 now.
I love that, though. Bone Cold, it's like perfect position as well, right? The whole way through that, he's managed to slip his way past the trap wire on A lobby, get himself into window, and then there's a spy cam waiting for him. Then tries to run back towards C long, trips that wire. Where I was able to set up for him.
Feels very bad. Okay. I mean, what are your thoughts so far on the new edition, the new agent coming in? What do we make of her?
Nothing to write home about. Again, it's I'm seeing a couple of different setups. You can see here, actually, looks like it's brilliant that we brought it up. Actually, the first time we might see some utility invested to retake some of the sewers control, whether or not it's to try and pull anybody down there or a preemptive stun, maybe. But this is a good response. This is the kind of thing we want to see Astra do, right? Is get this early territory control and ultimately put you in a position to push on the back of it. Actually going to trade out Sky Flashes. Let's see, Acend going to stack all 3 down here with just a pistol. So this is going to be really difficult for him to get out. CNED once again going to tuck himself behind bricks, though.
And he's away. Okay, they got pretty close last time, but that was off the back of CNED having his ult available. This time, not the case. So it might be a little bit trickier to make that work for them. Kind of interested to see if it does morph in any way. For now, just quietly progressing through the map. You do have that kind of lean, and there's the information piece from Cold to try to maybe have a little bit of a shoulder peek, but Gets met by Force. His wall is still there, but again, this is scary stuff. Now the rest of the aggression starting to come out. The players looking for information and they merely get met by bullets. NIP holding a decent default here. Met 2 forms of aggression this time, and it's worked well.
And this is really where, again, you don't want to see Acend kind of over-invest into this. Keeler's going to find a Bucky kill onto Chihuahua. No follow-up initially, so it's going to be difficult. Actually, Seeker's going to get sent down. That's going to give a lot of information over to him. The wall invested as well. They're going to split C site in half.
Oh, this is interesting. This is new. This we like to see. See how this works out. Flash through the wall, though, because it's not impenetrable. But there you go. Waiting on the other side, well, is a Kukos. And in we go. Rhyme finds Bone Cold, and it is just CNED. Shots. But it doesn't matter. Nice use of the wall there.
I mean, ultimately, it creates an opportunity for obviously a Sky Flash to come through. We talk about kind of the budget Phoenix setup between Viper and Sky. This again just gives them so much control, though, right? It requires a massive, almost over peak to challenge that setup on C site. I want to see how Korea keeps looking on this. I mean, again, I'd say Korea is one of those who really made a name for himself on the Omen, so it's interesting to see him away from that, and I want to see how well he continues going forward. It may take him some time to get used to this. Again, a new agent coming into this sort of developed meta. Look at this walk down middle. That's a shot that gets missed as Korea does find it. Now, Bone Cold going to try and get away with it, though. I don't know if he got spotted. Seekers go down. I don't know why, but I kind of like how they sound. Rez comes in, but look at this angle from Bone Cold. Bone Cold has such a fantastic read on how the game plays out, and he had full support from Starkso coming through from the double doors, and this is the sort of aggression that you can't help but love. Well-timed, well-positioned. Yes, it was dangerous, but look what Bone Cold's able to do. He just slips the net once again. And the Seekers going down there actually gave all the information over to him, anticipating both of those players. Bringing it to window. Rhyme, the last man standing. Good game so far, but a 1v5 on the cards. It's a tall order. Comes down, Cena just going to spam out a couple of operator shots. Side, ooh. Here, Keeler's on the other side. Decides to face. I respect it. But Starzo there to greet him on the other side of that dark cover.
Last round before the switch.
Valiant attempt. Trying to get the lay of the land in this game. There's a lot to take in. We've got Acend dropping some mad rounds that they really shouldn't be. NIP looking like a super slow start, but then, you know, right back into it. We've got Astra coming out that's been a bit hit or miss for Korea. We saw the Great Wall coming in then, but again, that was against an ecoed out team, so kind of hard to be impressed by. But here we go. CNED to start. Actually sticking around on this. He's the shoulder peak. You stay on it. It's holding for now. Well, this happens. Bone Cold again. I love the way Bone Cold plays. So his position gets noted, but he can fall off this now.
But again, it's the fact that Acend are able to get this control seemingly for free in the early round, right? This time around, it's not going to equate to any kills, and NIP actually going to counter it and push back into lobby. Korea's position noted. They try and... Ooh, CNED might catch... Okay, that's almost perfect, but JD actually gonna find the kill out of that. I don't think CNED was really in a position to follow up on that flash, although it was perfectly timed.
Imagine having to deal with this nuisance of a player. Now, Starkso's getting played in as well, keep in mind. He's just quietly waiting away. They're going to be so focused on dealing with CNED, and rightfully so. He's found another one. Of course he has. Oh, dear.
30 seconds left.
And then you got Bone Cold.
Yeah, Bone Cold tucked so deep in the corner of sight here. CNED once again. JD falls now. Paranoia comes through. CNED looking to follow up with the Blade Storm now. Kukos actually going to find him, but Starzo good for the trade, and a fantastic round from Acend to close out the first half here. 7-5 for them.
Let's talk about takeaways from this. Acend... I'd say once we are seeing the superstars doing what we expect. CNED, Bone Cold, really nice. Trying to make aggression work quite consistently, and it did. I will say that. I'll put that, you know, tick in the box. I'd say a couple of rounds definitely leave me worried. Though, you know, it's a little sketchy. It got a little dicey. NIP, the slow start. What do you make of NIP's form so far, at least in this first half?
I just think with a team like Acend, you almost can't afford to give away those rounds that NIP are seemingly happy to, right? We talk about them, you know, wanting to get a really good feel for the setup, but giving that much space to Acend, and yeah, maybe it's only 3 rounds or so, but it's that constant threat, right? It's second guessing. Are they going to full push A long this time? Are they going to completely wrap behind in lobby? And, you know, 20-30 seconds into the round to make absolutely no progress elsewhere on the map, you can't give that to Acend because they will punish you for it.
Trying to look at this setup here. I mean, you've got such commitment to this garage to kind of C split, and A is void of presence. I guess you got that deep hold from JD towards connector. Interesting reads from NIP.
Literally opting for full retake. You can see JD's just holding the angle onto A link. Gonna hear that step now, and that's probably gonna draw. Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's the green light. Let's try and rotate through here. Nothing going to stop the plant going down. And actually, a wall across. That's going to give them a really good opportunity to box off Graffiti here.
Clearing through heaven to start with. There should be a fair amount of utility still on NIP. Considering they're in a retake, they will have Astra's back into play now. Akukos is back into play, and here we go. Although Rhyme did find Bone Cold, it's still Akukos towards the side. There we go, but the crossfire is decent for Acend. They're holding on for now, but look at NIP. We've got Kriya and JD still trying to find these players. They're all stacked up using that wall as just a new way to slice the map. Brilliantly done by Acend, and I really like that deeper wall coming out from Sage.
Yeah, like I said, they're able to box off Graffiti. There's no threat coming through from A-Link. I mean, it pretty much... it forces heaven to be the first kind of point of contact for NIP, and it's so awkward to make that the case. I mean, there's no scenario there where Acend should give away a free kill. I'm talking about a gunfight, not necessarily utility, but there the setup is perfect, and that really is the strength of Sage in a pistol round, right? If you're able to get onto a site uncontested, put that wall down, it reinforces it. It creates such a big problem in the retake.
Yeah. Okay. And the bite. Decent for CNED. Got himself up on the rifle now. Bone Cold, quick progress made. So we Kriya on the other side, not too much to play with. And Bone Cold already further ahead here. Just in no man's land though. Pretty isolated. Still going to get Kriya on the turn, but there is room to work here, and NIP are going to work. That's a good couple of kills back to back now. Killers and Stark, so... oh my word, where did it all go wrong?
Oh, a 1v4 for Keeler's. Got to find one on the way in, but Ryan just going to swing and pick that up. And yeah, I mean, the 2 fantastic flashes from Akukos over from C-Link. Well, I'm not sure if we managed to fully catch that, but that's the reason Bone Cold really is under so much pressure there. 2 really high flashes over onto C site. Makes it so that he can't progress all the way to back plant. Right here, the pinch comes through, and
great rotation.
Beautiful from NIP, but really, you got to say, Acend not able to get a firm grip on site on the way in.
Yeah, it was a little bit segmented on approach, and it definitely held them back. And are we going for a creep up C long at this point? It looks like it. Back to basics, put Kriya on notice. Wonder how well Astra's going to do here, considering. Here come the flashes. Let's see what Kriya can achieve. Looking for the follow-up, says the flash, and there's the swing. And actually, CNED's got the trade out. That's not bad. That's a gun recovered. Yes, not bad. Back away. No, the flashes are really good. CNED's gone down. NIP clawing back at this round, making sure that rifle does not filter through.
Yeah, and that's a big weapon to lose first. If they can pick up that, especially if that's the entry onto site, if they can solidify with a Phantom, get it posted up somewhere and just kind of bait contact with the other people on the lesser weapons, it could be a huge variable for that round. But looking at it, Kuko's actually up to 7,100 now. He's going to hold the Spectre through, going to ride this one through the next, or actually potentially drop a weapon across to Kriya. You see that? Will indeed do just that.
And look, I'm putting a lot of thought towards Kriya in this just because we're seeing him on a new agent. All that spam could have been beefy. I don't think it found as much of a connection as you'd imagine. While this happens though, Colementary is leaning forward, but I've also got a highlight in this. Keyless is having a quiet game. And Acend out of nowhere again, just finding space for that kill. This guy's so good, it's annoying as hell. He's so talented, it just makes you feel inadequate. And there he is, just leading the way at the moment. Confidence aplenty, knows the smoke's going to be in place. He feels happy enough to go for it. There go the Seekers again. There's the spray down. Rhyme going to get himself in. There goes the flash as well. Trying to play back in towards B, but Kriya playing this nicely, finds Coldamenta and Bone Cold in this scenario. So, as it stands, NIP will have the favorable numbers to try and make this rotation. It comes down to JD.
JD's got himself close.
Oh, yeah, JD's in a great spot.
Love that. The preemptive rotation there allows JD to get so close to short. So close to short. And, you know, Starzo makes the right decision, right? He can't just swing out, you know, dry there. He's got to make an attempt to kind of flash himself in. The timing, I'd say, just a little bit off there. Really nice. Right, good recovery. Initially, it looked like Acend were going to once again find pretty much unopposed entry onto one of the sites, at least it being B. You know, that's the one that really, yes, a lot of teams give it up for free, right? But it's the recovery that NIP make there to slow things down. And here we go. It's a little bit of Astra utility actually bested over towards lobby, but nothing there. Bone Cold just going to creep and find a Kukos behind bricks.
Run, JD, run. You got Acend on the way. As soon as you hear those steps coming up, you know you're in trouble. Acend goes down. JD on the mad flick, just snapping his wrist in half. But look at this guy go. JD stays alive, doing the best he can, trying to control the site. Does eventually get overwhelmed, but Chihuahua comes around and secures all of that danger. I really wanted to say hour, and I had to stop myself. My brain just said, say it. It was difficult to not.
Kermit moment.
Yeah, straight up. CNET, though, does have the op, so I guess this is where we start seeing the difference in Acend, right?
Yeah, so no more. CNET. So close with that right click, actually, to be fair. But JD holds the line nonetheless. And to see now, CNET can find again. We saw him find a fair amount of success once again with the operator on defense, but attack's the one I always look at. If you're going to invest on it on attack, it's almost like even more of a reliance to find value with it. I mean, NIP ultimately, like I said previously, they're not too proactive on defense. They don't like to overextend in the early round. They're happy to kind of play a much deeper setup. So it's going to be difficult for CNET to find these first bloods.
They don't get offered up as much. You're right. I mean, rolling mine back to Bone Cold, CNED, all of them walking mid Colamenta, but CNED this time deeper angle, jump peeking on it, and try and lock this down, ensure that they can get that ult orb. He's got his line of sight locked in. Astra on the other side. Now going to get the angle back using that utility, but doesn't want to stick around. If you get a glimpse of that jet, and you know the economy's where it's at, you're not going to repeat that.
That was nearly terrible, actually, faking the smoke out on C-Long that CNED posted behind it.
Mm-hmm.
The important thing is he hasn't shot yet, so NIP don't necessarily, they can anticipate it. Korea now actually going to cross over behind Platt, but pressure is mounting here because Bone Cold trying to creep his way through Garage. Now they're going to know. CNED has shown his hand. The operator is available. How Acend try and reset away from this, but again, seemingly a little lost there. The fact that there wasn't a single peak given away on C-Long kind of left Acend, you know, stuck.
3 players here, Hypoc. There's 3 players for the defending side of NIP locked on this side, and they've been unable to clear any information. That's enough of a giveaway, and that's going to be the player that you know is there's still more. You've got to know there's still more. He just sends it, and it doesn't quite find target, but now look at the time. 15 seconds. Acend need to hit this now if they want this. Now, Bone Cold's done really well, but JD's still alive. Chihuahua on the clear. Oh, the adjustment not made in time. Chihuahua almost does the mad jump down. Spike can be planted. 4 seconds. 3, it's down. And now a 2v3, but look at the HP. Stark so low. Bone Cold a little lower too. This is not going to be easy yet.
Starzo gets off both the heal and the Seekers though, so Bone Cold immediately capitalizing on that. Korea now, his position's noted. That Seeker is creeping through. Gets through the wall finally. To try and clear out Graffiti or swinging out, but the setup here from Acend just too strong. Look at it. Gonna have to back away and hold on to this Vandal, but wow. I mean, Bone Cold's timing on his ultimate there, perfect to punish Rhyme in that position behind bricks. And yeah, Starzo has to back up all the way behind, avoids the showstopper initially, which is a feat in itself. But the timing from Bone Cold to pinch there, he TPs into Hell and finds that kill to pretty much open the site up, right? Sorry, it wasn't Hell, it was Heaven. It was JD actually that was stuck in Hell after that.
God, killers.
You see here, there's the ult there. The timing's perfect.
And keep in mind, this was like 15 seconds left. So credit to Acend, between Starkso and Bone Cold to create space in this situation was massive for them.
Was, yeah, and Bone Cold's actually lucky to escape out of the window there, to be honest. Wow, I was chomping at the bit to find that kill.
9-9 now on the board. First map here between these two. This choice is NIPs if you're just tuning in. Acend, arguably the more favoured side in this, considering their recent accolades. And now on the full buy, they did manage to retain that op that was brought over to this round, dropped out to CNED, so he'll be able to keep that going forward. And once again, though, I will say, NIP do not like to give too much away early on, seeing they're desperate for that peak, and Chihuahua's got to play the finest of margins.
Again, seeing it on the hunt. NIP not giving away any of these peaks too early. Other than that one, I guess. Rhyme just gets shut down outside B site. Gonna expose a little bit of a gap, but Acend don't opt to push through. Korea now creeping all the way down C long, and him not finding anything there. Actually, NIP don't rotate on the back of it, and Acend find themselves free entry. Okay. Onto A site. Again, the setup is good though. The wall comes out, the Hunter's Fury invested, does get 2 tags, but no kill.
Let's look at this retake positioning. Now, Astra's still pretty far away. That's going to take some time to get there, so they need to progress early, utility-wise. JD's now out. Chihuahua's got a little, not a lot. JD does find CNED, and here we go. This is the retake in action. JD going to isolate the one on short. Swings on one side. JD is so good today. The tip of the spear, but Golden Mentor wants it on the action. 3 for Golden Mentor. But he needs 4. Now, does he know where Korea is? Surely going to hear the steps. Now knows the gunfire. Has to sit in this corner. He has nowhere else to run and nowhere to hide.
Huge
Golden Mentor. What a round.
Massive. I've got to say, it was a Kukos on Graffiti, right? After that first kill comes through, I think onto JD, Kukos is still holding the angle onto the front side of default. A little bit of a, I don't know if a misread or a miscommunication or what. It's right here, this moment. You see a Kukos holding onto default. Just
no cool.
A momentary lapse of, I guess, concentration. Like I said, could have been a misread or a miscommunication, but there's just no trade. It's literally, well, 3 initial separate 1v1s.
Yeah.
Chihuahua's desperate to find that trade as well. Like, he jumps out of heaven
he
it.
dies for it. Absolutely. Like, he committed everything to that. And I don't blame you. That's the best opportunity you're going to get. But 10-9 now. That's going to be a tilter as well, I've got to say. If you're NIP...
Big time.
You're going to be frustrated with that. That's just fundamental flaws. That's just, small individual errors more than anything. There's a Kukos.
Oh no.
Dropped. I don't know the rules in this. In Counter-Strike, if there's no damage done, then the round can get reset. I'm not 100% sure. We'll find out. It looks like he's back, so no harm, no foul. We'll carry on. For now, though, progress towards middle. They've taken good control. And you're right, it is wide open.
And actually, nobody there to punish the wall once again. See, actually gets caught out a little bit, but he will try and reset. But he's used his dash here, so it's going to be difficult for him to get out. Does have his smoke, so he will actually escape, but Acend going to full reset towards mid here.
Spam. Oh, that was damn close, Darkso. Blind as well. You can see now the damage coming back in off the back of the Seekers. Quartermenta there towards JD. The trade comes out. Quartermenta again. The man wants to go clutch twice in a row. And there you go. 3 big kills. And once again, the round is theirs.
Economy-wise is... Yeah, no, they are okay. So they got 1 buy left in them, but now Acend get themselves on 11 rounds. Only have the neural theft left to play with. A bit of an investment there to try and get that retake rolling. JD won off the Hunter's Fury on the side of Acend. Not much else. A big investment on both sides, actually, in that previous round. Still have the neural theft and from the shadows here, but a heavy lean towards A lobby here. I think Acend going to try and
mid push.
Brute force their way through. Yeah, Riot actually gets himself all the way down mid. There's going to be a lot of information going over to NIP, and you can see the rotation coming out now on the back of that.
Position noted, though. And here comes the sight here already. JD outdone by Bone Cold. There, look at the power on these players. Unbelievable. 3 kills back to back. This is done. Put a fork in it.
The synergy on that push is just fantastic.
So well done. Like, every angle is, like, favorable, and the spacing and the trading, they just never, like, even if, let's say one of them did, you know, die in that scenario, they were so close to always trade back in. On every angle, they're in that perfect distancing. Really well done.
Just misses Keyless on the way past. And actually going to get spotted out now, expecting them to try and pinch Rhyme here. Starzo creeps past.
Last player standing.
Oh, yeah. Kriya tried to get something down for him to back up into, but last man standing. Kriya, 26 HP. Again, got to try and hide here. Starzo just going to swing. Closes that one out. Nobody from NIP going to survive, and Acend put themselves on match point here on Haven.
Oh, 12-9. NIP. They were looking okay for a little while. There genuinely was a couple of good runs from them. They've had a couple of decent moments, but I've got to say, overall, I think they've kind of fallen on their own sword at times. You know, some of these errors they've made are hard to watch, and I'm sure even harder for them to deal with. This is very frustrating, I'm sure. And for Acend, they're just like, yeah, well, we'll just take strides in this. And now the op comes out. Let's see what we've got.
It's not often we'd be sat in a position talking about NIP falling short on the fundamentals, right? Quarterfinals.
Correct.
Actually, a banger of a shot onto Rhyme into Suez there. But yeah, it's very uncharacteristic, right? NIP...
I've got your trail.
Seemingly, you know, looking as if they can't keep this playstyle from Acend in check.
No, I think it's quite hard, and they seem a little out of their depths here for now. 9-12 is still a pretty respectable scoreline. However, this being their map choice is the scarier fact, and you have Icebox, which is a very strong Acend map afterwards, and you've got CNED now just confident, just stood out in the middle, just straight out, just like, nah, I'm alright, don't worry, I know my boy's got this, I've got Bone Cold on the flank, and that is the brilliance of Bone Cold and Acend. 13-9, they will be taking map 1.
I want to say it's the first time we've seen JD on Jet. Again, I've been frantically clicking for the last 30 seconds to see if that's the case. But as round 1 gets underway, Acend actually going to lean 3 towards B long here. Look for some early control once again. A couple of members of NIP here to greet it, but the spike and 3 members of NIP in total actually over towards A. So be able to pivot off this pressure immediately.
Putting it this way, in the last 90 days, he has not played Jet. Prior to that, there is a little bit of Jet play in there. So, it's not the first, but it ain't been recent. So, take it how you want from that, and I'm sure you can find the deeper context. I just look at the stats and go, ah, yes, I'll pretend I have a point to be made off the back of it, don't worry. But what I do see is a side take for now, or at least a slow build towards it. Now, they backed away. NIP going on the old long way around here. And heading back over towards B. So far, so good. Contact to be made now. It's CNED who's probably going to get the first peek. And yeah, at the moment, just kind of a couple of cautionary shots coming through. None quite.
Okay.
Help. Help, I've seen something I shouldn't have. That was disgusting. It is a 1-for-1 trade out eventually, but a 4v4. And look at this angle for Stark, so it could have been big, but now it just kind of creates this brawl scenario. And Existence, aka Kukos, gonna be trying to get that heal up, get everyone ready to rock and roll, try and get the rest of this done. Spike's still not planted.
Yeah, 13 seconds left. CNED's got to be dug out of this position on Stark. Actually going to swing all the way onto it. A 2-for-2 trade, but Bone Cold, now the last man standing. Korea will clean it up, and well, finally, after it doesn't matter, we'll get the spike down. But yeah, a little bit of a weird round. NIP, I mean, responding fantastically, swinging back over towards B there, but unable to really get a firm grasp on site control.
JD on the jet. I want to see this, man.
Right here.
Like this.
I mean, he's looked
good.
fantastic individually. He has, so I kind of like the switch.
I get it. Like Reyners or Jets, man. If you got someone who's you know packs a punch, get him on it. Now this round is only working with the old Ghost. Chihuahua found Bone Cold to begin with, and the round should go NIP's way if as to tradition, unless they make a couple of key errors. Doubt it, but let's keep our eyes on. Already Chihuahua taking a good chunk of space, just kind of going walkabouts by B. Better not overextend because there are players here, but no, takes it in his stride and comfortably will take B, and you can see the spike's already on the way.
Well, finding loads of value, 2 kills actually, and look how far he's got already. Last 3 members of Acend got to creep their way through. I'm actually ready with the recon, but actually messes up a little bit. Don't ping out just how close these players are. Stars are going to hop up, but greeted by the Spectre, traded out by Coldamenta, but again, this is all going on so far away from the site. There's no real chance for them to recover this, but maybe do some more damage. Kukos to clean up one more. CNED last man standing with a Sheriff, and Jet will close that one out. So NIP off to a good start here, and that's ultimately, you know, the biggest win condition for me is NIP having a successful attack in half. Because like I said, Acend was actually, I think they will lean a little heavier here, knowing that NIP aren't very proactive on the defense. I mean, we could see a complete switch up, right? With this Jet pick, it might completely flip the script on, you know, expectations defensively for NIP.
It could. I mean, it definitely changes the concept, but we have to see, how, obviously, in actuality, how it looks. I like these kind of fakes they've been throwing in there. They've shown intent towards A and then kind of done that late lean towards B off the back of some nice individual progress made by, you know, be it Chihuahua or whomever else. But now that will be Bone Cold's task to try and keep that B long take under wraps. Now, again, this will be Acend on the better purchase, so keep that in mind. It's not a drastic change up. No. We do have 2 rifles. Chihuahua and Kriya will still be very much within touching distance of this.
And actually, gonna lean a little towards A at the early round, but here JD's already making progress down, and the hold from Acend on B actually pretty deep. Bone Cold pulling away from going towards yellow. Now with no presence, you're gonna see that rotation come out. Bone Cold now gonna pick up that deep angle, and Starzo considering move over. Seeker's invested over on A though, so open to see an early rotation come out. Nobody give away too much early on this hit.
I like the Seekers to try and get you that gateway towards the site even late on a side take 30 seconds. CNED is alive barely. 2 HP is all he's got. Gets healed up. Back in the action now. Not a great deal. Still a little rough around the edges. And NIP are on the site. Holding close angles. They have those SMGs. They want these close quarters combat scenarios. And CNED wins his. Rhyme goes down. The 2 rifles though. That's Kriya and Chihuahua. Keep that in mind. If they still stand, there's still danger. Bone Cold caught unawares. Lovely off angle up top there. And CNED tries to turn around. Tries to turret this out. But it is just Coldamenta now. And we know what it's like. Vipers, post plants. It ain't pretty. Do as much as you want here. Hissing away like a creeper in Minecraft. But look at the damage Coldamenta's on today. But it does not matter. Freya shuts it down. And NIP win a big round. That's the bonus. And they managed to convert.
Yeah, and it's almost there. You know, the 4 kills seemingly do no dent to the economy. We got Isaac here. They come back into a very comfortable purchase once again. Coldamenta makes it as costly as possible for them. Look at it now. Ultimate progress looking really good. Kukos back to 50% progress, and the Seekers were thrown down in that previous round. So a testament really to how well that round went for NIP in the grand scheme of things. Bladestorm popped immediately. Sure, actually, who that was. JD and CNED both have it available.
Enemy tank.
How deep JD's holding.
Initiated.
Man's playing Spawn.
Anticipating that aggression. This is something we talk about repeatedly with Acend.
Here.
Especially in a round like this. This would be the prime time for them to start doing this kind of more aggressive lean. I like the use of the ultimate to clear the site, and I quite like early uses of ultimates. Yeah, it's against a weakened buy, but I'd rather you try and be safe about it. If there is a stack going on, just try and take your time. And I think we found our answer. There's two who's got the old knives out. That will be CNED. See how that goes for him. Already quite well. JD gonna lose life for it. Free little haircut. It is hard to get to the hairdressers these days. But a Kukos from down below. Lovely work from just below the rafters. Staying alive. There is still threats. It is still a 3v3. If CNED keeps going, there is plenty of potential for problems here. 30 seconds on the board and Spike's not down.
I didn't even realize the spike hadn't been planted yet, as it finally will. Kukos going to find another. Oh, Coldamenta did land the first shot there with the Marshall, but all is up. And a Kukos back on the Seekers now. So 3 ultimates available for NIP there. And again, right there, I think the fact that NIP are waiting that out for so long is they're anticipating this hit coming in. They know that Acend like to play very fast and loose, especially in retake scenarios. So, I mean, what? They're on site for almost 30 to 40 seconds there without a plant coming through. And that's after the Killjoy ultimates invested. The lockdown clears all that space for them.
CNED on the op. Let's see how this goes. This has been the gateway for them changing the way maps can look. A tall task, but I like the double stack here from Acend. That's a little different, actually. We haven't seen them do this yet. And Rhyme, early on the ult pop as well, trying to get this starting pick. Did he get the tag off that? Not close. Darkso a little worse for wear, but does get the heal off. He'll be back up to 100.
Well, just as a note, NIP have done what they couldn't do last time, and they found an attacking round and make that 4.
Very true.
Poison's off.
Already this agent composition paying dividends for them if they can continue this. But for me, it relies on them having a strong attack inside. Kriya
I've got your
creeps
trail.
through. Starzo will fall in kitchen. And Seekers once again invested. Keeler's got to back away from this now. He's the last man standing on B. But the pinch is coming through here. Not going to find anything before he falls.
5v3 now.
Spike planted.
Bone Cold just about getting into this. CNED still there. Not easy to bring this up in, considering some of these angles are quite tucked in. Tricky to clear safely, and you can see what they'd be up against. You got a Kukos, you got Kriya there. It's not nice. Bone Cold can offer himself up as the first step forward, but he does lose his life for it, so now CNED might be tasked with just trying to keep that up. Back away. Now let's talk about what's working here for NIP, because this is a big performance so far. Now, if he manages to keep the up, that's something else, but he's going to be closed in on. They have a really good economy after winning the bonus round as well. That's not so subtle. And there is no time. So for a second I had to just, hush my voice. Listen out. Round is theirs. So let's talk about what's working for NIP Hypoc. What is a highlight to you about how they're approaching this in comparison to what we expected, at least?
Well, I think initially they're able to control this early round aggression from Acend. Acend not really being given an opening to do what they like to do, right? And that really comes back to the default from NIP here. The fact that they're able to switch this up, anticipating where CNED's going to be playing, because he's always the front man. He's always the front man for this early round aggression. Second, really, for that would have been Starzo on the Sky, right? But here we have him on the Sage. It's a lot more difficult with this composition for Acend to really, I guess, punish those openings, right? So initially, NIP with a perfect response. If we consider how this matchup went last time, this is ticking all the boxes for me.
Now, this is the impressive part about NIP, is that they have this capability, right? Like, this is why everyone waits with bated breath with this team, because obviously, yes, the big name is a Kukos coming in existence. Sure, but if you were watching the earlier time, you know, the Party Parrot days, whichever way you want to cut it... Wait. Did you just bonk his head on the outro? Again, there were some big names in this. Some that were really impressed. Early Chihuahua commits to the spray, and now does Coldham enter. The op is still out for CNED. The rest, though, on pistols and an SMG, so this should be a clean round. And the op is in middle, so they can take this B side. There is a Killjoy there, but here comes the flash, and I'm sure a swing to follow. There it is. Killers, not bad on one. Falls away, does some good damage doing that. Not bad.
Yeah, one away from the lockdowns, and that could be a huge factor if he gets that online for this retake. CNED now over towards Snowman. To find out. This is the thing, that kill was actually huge because it brings it back to a 4v4, but we know how difficult it is to find something on the way back in on a retake with an operator. It becomes this crutch almost. Let's get a spot Rhyme crossing over. Doesn't lose his life, but
Spike planted.
Spike will go down in response.
And now the retake.
Here.
Viper's alive, Kriya's in position. It ain't feeling good.
Watching here.
Anything to deny it? I don't know. That could be the big denial. Not sure if it's going to work out. For now, it looks like a resounding no. Already down to just Starkso and Bone Cold trying to play this back through. JD's lost out on this. And Starkso, not bad, okay. But now Kriya.
They just got to wait out the utility.
I don't know if it's even... Oh, it did work. Oh dear, Kriya's found Bone Cold, didn't get it halfway either. The wall went down early on, it was broken. And there it is. Well played by Kriya. Full faith in the utility to do its work, even after that wall came in. But confirmation from the teammates that were on the site. You always got to check this, especially if you know there's potentially a wall that could be thrown up against you. You know, Starkso could have maybe blocked that, but the wall was taken down by the teammates, and Kriya was able to play that out perfectly. Well done.
I love that, though. But the setup for NIP is perfect. Both players, I think, was it Rhyme and Chihuahua? I can't even remember who the other one up, but taking contact there early on from Yellow makes sure that Kriya is unopposed for a longer amount of time, right? It gives that utility all the time in the world to do what it needs to. Really good stuff. Ooh,
a little lazy on those, you know, quite over the edge mid peaks. You're going to get punished. Bone Cold's in danger now, feeling pressure from up above. Too many angles. He could be in problem. Spike's now down. Interesting play through middle here. This is a bit of a different plan, bit of a different setup. Bone Cold unchecked on. That's a little bit of an issue. How's he gone unnoticed here? Able to get a couple of fights, and there you go. Killjoy ult invested.
That's a perfect ult, actually. It's going to force a lot of NRP out of these tricky spots. JD still finds one, though. Can't escape. Their Kriya with another lineup onto the Spike, so it's going to be really difficult. I mean, NIP just got to hold their ground for the time being. Keyless finds 2 kills in response, so it's just Kriya standing once again.
Oh, this fight is so... That's so good. Fade away on scene at the time. He just has to play the time, and now he gets the confirmation. Keyless, you ain't on that Spike. You can get the kill, but I get the round. 7-0. NIP. Where was this team?
Wow. Again, coming into this map, one of the terms I use, pace change. That right there, fantastic stuff from NIP. And the setup is so good. So good. With that plant on the second level of B site. Again, Kriya, you can see he's got a lineup for it, but NIP, again, they're able to just take these really weird fights. When you consider what a retake onto B site looks like, just those gunfights are so weird for Acend to kind of try and dig NIP out of these spots.
I guess this is what can happen when teams get time to reinvent themselves a little. You know, this is a whole different looking team coming out from NIP when it comes to at least the agents they're playing, how they're approaching this. This isn't even their map choice, which is the crazy part. That's the mad part to me. If I'd just been working on this, I'd lean into it, but I guess technically they got 2 good maps for themselves then, regardless. Chihuahua to find Cold and Menta. And it looks like business as usual, at least for the last 7 rounds, might just be carrying on.
And this is the thing. This agent composition doesn't really allow Acend to do what we'd expect them to do right there. So they went for that push all the way deep in. Cold and Menta gets picked up. I guess really a bit of frustration showing that they're trying to force the issue with this early round aggression. Lockdown going to get invested here by Chihuahua. Actually, CNED did try and get into the back corner of sight there, but Going to be forced out by the spam.
Welcome to my world.
30 seconds left.
They've got this wrapped up.
Yeah.
Oh, this is...
Player standing.
What is this? Where has this team been? Acend, forced to be quiet, 23 HP. Up to 45, but found this is all encompassing. And this is what I was kind of talking about it when we talk about the capabilities outside of Akukos. Now, everyone gets excited by him because he's one of these classic IGLs. They're a thinking man's team. But then there's so many other elements to this team. When I was talking about the likes of, Party Parrots and some of these older rosters and, where some of these players may have come from, some of the, the young CIS players, young this and young that, some of these names that have definitely turned heads, you think, okay, well, let's say they have a couple of looks, a couple of styles, a couple of maps where they do lean in a little bit more to that puggy roster. You put JD on the Jet, for example. You play a little bit fast and loose. You try and take those fights. Look at the difference this team looks like. And again, this is so hard to predict and read. Now, that's a good start for Acend. Finding JD is perfect.
Hopefully, actually, initially to stop the bleeding, because it's an 8-round deficit as it stands for Acend. And again, Acend not really able to find much success with the operator on Icebox, and Riot going to spot this push out from Ryan. I'm pretty sure he's heard it as well, so angle for Acend, so beautiful over the top. Bone Cold going to find Kriya, find Chihuahua as well.
One enemy
2
remaining.
kills overall, and actually Akukos going to be the last man standing here, so Acend looking like they might post their first round win. Akukos has been left up his sleeve here.
Hi, Pock. Have I told you about the 1v5?
No, you haven't. Please continue.
It wasn't this round, don't worry about it.
Okay.
I was just wondering if you'd heard about it.
I'm not familiar, no.
Ah, it's quite the story. 8-1 is a story as well. NIP, 8 rounds to the good against Acend is actually pretty mad. Like, they've come into this and looked so diligent. And this map was never meant to be theirs in the veto, right? Like, this is very much a solid Acend map. Now, yes, you could argue this map does work well for teams that do nicely on the attack, but this wasn't something that we'd put with NIP as a favorable term, right? Previous to... How many rounds did they get on the attack when they played this last time?
0.
I know you're a stat man. How many?
0.
0. Yeah. So, again, you get an idea of this. Now, this is what we talk about, and I think something that was very important that Shazam said recently, it's very hard to reinvent yourself when you're constantly playing, when you're in and out of tournaments. It's your job, right? And it's other teams' jobs to keep eyes on you, watch everything you do, get those anti-strats ready. Now, NIP maybe, gone back to the lab and came up with something new, and this is looking phenomenal for them. This is only the first half, and it can all go away, but let's get excited for it while it's here.
But the big thing is, it's not just kind of like a, swapping out one agent or one role change, right? It's a complete
stylistic,
complete change on the agent composition, and they're playing very differently, right? They're playing way more aggressive. They're actually kind of dicing with death when you talk about the fact they're facing Acend, because they're happy to take these early round 1v1s. And usually with Acend, if you find that 1v1, the way there's
I'm impressed. I am impressed. I want to see if Acend have the ability to kind of hit the brakes a little bit and get themselves locked in. These A takes have been solid up until this point. Let's see what this looks like, though, because Bone Cold's right there. This is good. And look at the utility coming right back out. He's going to chase that. I'm pretty sure that's perfection until he ran out of bullets. And Acend caught in the middle of the open. He was kind of caught in the chaos, and Chihuahua
Oh, this is huge.
silently makes his way forward. At the same time, he did have support as well from Kriya, but Kriya got caught out by Starkso. But Chihuahua makes up for this and then some. Starkso now left in the 1v2, up to hand, and some tricky angles to play with.
It's difficult here if you can't swap out to a rifle. I don't expect NIP in this scenario in particular to give him an open peak. Well, we'll retrieve the spike. It does get planted. He's actually going to come on and try and challenge Rhyme there to greet him. There's a headshot on NIP. 9-1 up here. A completely different look coming into Icebox. I mean, this is exactly what we want to see, right?
Spike down A.
Didn't want to see them kind of revert back to that slow start play style. It's looking explosive here for them. And I'll be honest, actually, look at the two notable kind of, you know, role switches, JD and Kriya. Well, I say role, but Agent in particular. It's not them shining, it's the Kukos and Chihuahua.
That's kind of mad, is it? But again, Chihuahua is like this mad prospect as well. Like a lot of these players, again, when NIP kind of, you know, have this roster, all the attention gets put on, you know, the IGL, etc. But these guys have all been pretty wild. Like, they're all specialists in their roles that they're currently not playing, which is the crazy part again. And they look good. So again, ultimate, invested, this should clear a fair few players from the site, allow that progression. Now, the flank is what I'm looking at, and the same can be said for the rest of NIP. Their attention does suddenly turn, and they catch off Bone Cold. Now, there was another, that's Acend. He gets seen. Ooh, that's a nasty angle to be caught in on both sides. Wonder if they were considering backing away from this, or where they go now. JD has the opportunity to open up middle, but Acend is a problem.
Yeah, he's posted very deep, and this information, I mean, Starzo's still over towards B, kind of anticipating the possibility of a mid-presence here, but you can see how heavily they're leaning on towards A here. I'm surprised to not see one more move over. Quarterfinals actually misses that one, and JD just going to creep up, finds both headshots. Keyless and Quarterfinals fall.
That's just nasty work, isn't it? Now Acend's made it around, but by now the site's about to be taken, and the spike can go down. It is in the hands of the Kukos.
Spike planted.
Acend trying to clear as he goes. Try and find the angles that may contain some of these players. Starkso does alleviate the pressure from one. And Starkso finds a second. Now that's big work. Now Acend's gone unnoticed so far. They already know of where Starkso was. Now spotted. Now seen. Investment on the res, and now we go again. Is there any utility on killers that could do something? I'm not sure on this. Maybe just to try and get a body on the spike itself. Starkso trying to be the defensive line, but NIP. This is great stuff from them.
Yeah, the slow retake. I mean, playing right into NIP's hands. They have Kriya still up and Chihuahua on that really long lurk. He was playing all the way back in spawn when that sight hit came through. And again, it's just a perfect setup, right? Acend have to come through and challenge Kriya playing so deep. And Chihuahua that entire time able to slip through mid and come back and punish from behind. Really, really good stuff. And 10-1. I mean, this is worlds apart from the expectation coming into this map. NIP absolutely stepping up to the plate on Icebox.
1000%. And aggression down middle, following this up. Acend, bye-bye, Chihuahua. There it is. Just the hit and run. Follows up the owl drone, real casual-like, and just absolutely decimates. Now, NIP, this is going to be a disruptive piece for them. Losing out on Chihuahua is a little bit of a problem. I wouldn't say the biggest issue. If you lost out on maybe a Kukos or Kriya, they're the kind of, I guess, post-plant or kind of creators of space that if you lost out on, it can get tricky. But I want to see what they do with this now, because you can kind of sit back a little deeper here, see what they opt for. But again, great first pick. Considering the money's pretty poor for Acend, they needed that.
Scanning ahead.
And actually 3 members of Acend going to lean over towards B, and P look as if they're going to creep back over towards A. Actually, the Seeker's invested. This is big investment to sell the fake onto B side, but it's going to keep 3 players there, and that's the important thing.
Oh, this is a big old debate. They got to know what's coming up now, because you can see Quarterfinals just hears the utility, sees it coming down. Kukos does find Bone Cold as well, so still doing damage on the other side of the map. This is a problem. Now Keela is in the middle of the smoke, gets found, and NIP just bullying their way through. Oh, dearie me and the timing. Let's see who gets it. Starkso trying to cut mid. Kukos already seems to have an idea of the possibility, but no. The shot for Starkso is sharp enough that he gets the job done. And now 2v2.
A big win. Acend slipping. Kriya still has his utility, though. And neither member of Acend actually push in that direction to pressure it, so gotta go fast. Actually seeing they're potentially going to try and get in ahead of it. We'll tank the first Hunter's Fury blow, but follow-up going to come through. He does actually catch him in the corner there. It's already on a half stick, though. Oh, Starzo got to slip away from that. Finds Rhyme first, and Kriya now the last man standing. 5 bullets left. Yeah, not enough HP to stick it through there, and Kriya will clean that one up. 11-1 in the first half of Icebox here.
Switching sides.
So, Hypok, bind. What do you think of that?
Spike planted.
What is this, man? What is this? This was just... what? Okay, so, TLDR, NIP have turned up and just smashed the attacking side, which is weird, considering they got nil points the last time they played this. And Acend just never were able to stop it. At all.
No, and honestly, I think the agent composition here, it leans away from what we want to see Acend do, right?
Yeah.
There's no real kind of pop to their execution. I'm concerned now coming onto attack.
Give me that Reyna. Give me some of that. I mean, those flashes. Give me the sky. I don't mind. I love that aggressive style. Sometimes you got to lean into it, I guess. But as it stands, let's see how it works out. Hypok, why don't you take this one?
You're going to see immediately, they're going to wall up Acend actually onto the backside of Boiler. That wall kind of splitting off the left side of Kitchen. Might be able to isolate this kill onto Korea, but they've got to be quick about it here. Bit of a staggered push. CNED stays behind at the bottom of the tube, and Starzo there with the pinch. This is a fantastic setup from Acend here. Complete map control, but as I said that, JD and Rhyme respond with 2 kills of their own.
Keep your eye on the HP, though. It's a little bit of a concerning factor for Rhyme and JD, down to about 20. JD still finds value towards killers. That's impressive. Still be able to convert that kill brings... what is going on? A 1v1. Bone cold. Still alive against Rhyme. Rhyme is pretty much a one-shot here. 20 HP. And Bone cold, probably the perfect person in the post plant. Yeah. Keeps his cool, keeps calm, gets the first one on the board in the second half.
Beautiful pistol round. Again, the early mid-aggression. The Viper wall splits off everything on the right side of the tube. CNED stays back to lurk in that position to catch off any rotations either down the tube or under the tube. But again, getting boiler control is absolutely massive for the attacking team.
Yeet. Now towards middle. This is it looks like a no frills sort of round. It's go A. 5 of you go A. Now, there's some danger here, but CNED, he's fine. He's still trucking on. Rhyme does get killers on the way through, but the site is now there. So Spike can be planted. And the last 2 players will want to push up towards B long. And it doesn't look like these sheriffs or the sheriff that remains will be able to achieve too much from this. Korea quietly playing this out.
Last player standing.
Think not enough. And Chihuahua now in a 1v4. And this should be the perfect beginning, I guess, for Acend, assuming that they can convert the bonus here. I mean, they do have how many rifles? 1 and what, 2 bulldogs, I guess?
Yeah, and I think actually that's kind of like a forward play, so to say, to bring the Bulldogs into this. They can kind of play range a little better than having to rely on, getting up close and personal with Spectres. So really puts them in I guess, the best possible position to take a kind of a more expected round, right? They haven't got to try and all out hit a site here. But as I say that, it looks as if he's going to go for some early mid control, get himself on top of tube. Nobody there to greet him because it's 3 members of NIP down on B lane.
Killers is pressing W.
Yeah, they've completely split.
Oh, that's a dirty little plant, isn't it? Oh, I like that. All right. A little bit of a switch up here. This is the big one, though. They've got to win this bonus round. If you want to see Acend build back in, it's got to be kind of flawless. We set the bar high for this. It's not easy to do. And already seen, Ed's going to do well to find Rhyme. Now keep your eyes on those rifles, if any of them filter back through. Killer's got himself 1 and CNED as well, so they're your 2 heavy hitters. As it stands, you're still looking at NIP to try and find that way back in. These picks are not being offered up for free. They're still quite tricky, and Killer's going to find the Kukos. Trade comes out. There goes Killer's going down, and now you're going to be just down towards Chihuahua. Left in a 1v3. That's going to be the first, but now you look at this. Time being born the spike. You might as well back away.
Another beautiful execution. Just so well thought out.
Yeah.
Again, these plants are so tricky on B because the fact that they're able to reset back and play these almost kind of like tunnel angles, right? It's all filtering NIP into these bottleneck scenarios. Really, really well thought out execution there. And actually kind of mirroring what we saw from NIP. They had a really nice execution on with that plant on the second level of B site. Again, Chihuahua using, sorry, not Chihuahua, Keeler's using his utility early enough. Both those nano swarms kind of getting off those first potential taps on the spike. So a send off to a good start here, but there's a long way to
keep
go.
Going. Yeah, no, it can't stop. I do like seeing the map being divided in new ways. You know, those same default plants are pretty unfavorable, honestly. It's very tricky to make work, so it's nice seeing kind of new ways to do it. It's really, really quite interesting. Now, at this round, look at the money. Chihuahua, yes, still has that rifle he saved last round. Now that's a favorable angle for Kriya. Yeah, gonna find Bone Cold. That could be a gun recovered. JD's there to try and help out, it looks like, up and over. Kind of keep that Blade Storm working in the right direction. And look how quickly he's clearing this.
Yeah.
That's big information, because it's just, Chihuahua, get ready. You're about to have a boatload of players coming your way. Steps heard, here we go. Tries to get on the early fight. That's really good. The read's really good for a second. Chihuahua, perfect play to buy time on the rotation too. This is everything you could have wanted. Coldamenta now paranoid about the back, and he's right to be as such. And look at this, Spike can come down, but Kriya finds Acend, and now Coldamenta left in a 1v3. Finds the first, he went clutch in the last couple of... Yeah, maybe. There's a chance still on this one for him.
30 seconds
Ooh,
left.
look at this though. NIP immediately hitting that rotate. They're gonna potentially catch an angle here, depending on where Coldamenta decides to plant. It's outside the ground floor. JD hopping up on top. He's gonna hear that. He's got to find this kill though, because Kriya opting not to face with him. Now the wall goes up, and Kriya cleep. Ooh! If the wall drops now, oh my god! Kriya missed the first shot. We didn't see him. I heard it there. And that's the thing. I mean, Coldamenta has to find that second player there to have a chance. There's no point in facing back onto JD.
Yeah.
Taking the 1v1.
Match point.
Really good recovery from NIP, honestly. Again, in that scenario, even if Chihuahua finds one kill here, it's massive. But the fact he doubles down, finds Starzo, it just makes the trade as difficult as possible for Acend.
But 12-4. Are we going to see a mirrored scoreline, but the other way around?
Wouldn't that be poetic?
It honestly may just be.
Yeah, I mean, this is the best possible chance that, yeah, we can talk about ultimates here with an 8-round deficit. It doesn't really matter because they have to get back onto another ultimate cycle. But Bone Cold, Starzo, Acend all got theirs away. Keyless 2 away from the lockdown. Coldamenta 1 off the Hunter's Fury. So this is a big round. The side of NIP, Kriya 1 away from his, Akukos 1 away, Hunter's Fury and Lockdown available for NIP. But yeah, NIP on the brink of really closing this one out already. Taking it to the third.
The third would be Bind. Still a chance of a comeback, just... The comeback starts when you get to double digits, or at least 9, I'd say. 9 or 10 rounds. Just the way the economy works, it generally seems to sit towards that. If you get there, then yeah, we'll have a chat. We'll have a little chat about it. Till that point, NIP just need to kind of cruise. And just, you know, if Acend make a single mistake, it's over and done with, and map 3 gets unlocked. Here we go, Chihuahua. Not the start you'd want, but he has his ultimate, so that can deny. Coupled with Rhymes as well. Quite interesting to see that both happening at the same time. Maybe not exactly what he wanted, but this will at least cost them a couple more seconds and buy time for those rotations.
Acend was hanging around really late to try and find a kill there, and yeah, you're right. The lockdown and the Hunter's Fury, fairly preemptive. Or dare I say premature. I thought JD creeping. Bone Cold didn't spot the rifle, and actually JD didn't spot Bone Cold crossing either. This is going to be terrible. If he can find the kill, he's going to spot the barrel. He can find Chihuahua for free here.
That's 1. Bone Cold, that's 2. And now there's problems everywhere. Bone Cold can just try and fade away into the night, but Rhyme does find Killers in the meantime, and they even instantly back up. Bone Cold and Killers both go down, and all that advantage fades away to nothing. There's now the spike ticks away. Starzo finds one. The trade's excellent. Really well done there. Just finding right back in. Just never letting that second come through. And they find another step, 3 alive, 3 guns kept over. They're doing what they need to. It's not clean, but it's what's necessary.
Yeah, and again, in this scenario, finally to say, these are so many things to transfer back and forth, but finds a Kukos as well from that position. Actually, the setup really good. Once again, the whole time that happens, they're able to, Starzo is able to get that wall down on default, and it has the time to reinforce. It draws the attention away from it just long enough for them able to set up.
Okay, money's now broken. Sheriff and Marshal coming to town. Did fancy some Red Dead later, why not play it now? Coldament are going to be clearing through. Quite meticulous in approach. Nothing noted yet. Full of shots, but keep in mind this is all a bit of bait. That Spike is definitely looking towards B, but the Kukos is here.
Actually, Coldament and JD will find kills over on the other side of the map, and of course Coldament down to 48 HP. He's got to back away from this. He can't stop JD from pushing any further, and that's going to give some vital information over to NIP. Kukos land a headshot. Keyless falls here. Zened just creeping, trying to trade that. Starzo involved. Actually, Investor revive here, but a lot coming out. Invested. Lockdown goes down for Acend as well. Should negate some of that Viper's pit that's been invested on site.
They get back into this for NIP. It's now one player does get caught by this. Zened still found a Kukos. JD slowly but surely creeping in, but the angle's better for Coldamenta. This is a shutdown. It looks like Acend will be looking towards their 6th. This keeps going this way. Korea and Chihuahua. Oh, no chance. No chance at all.
Yeah, just so much to deal with there, and
yeah.
Honestly, could have gone either way. Once the Viper's bit gets invested, like I said, the lockdown kind of counters that. It gives side control right back over to Acend. They just have to wait out the clock there. Nobody able to prevent the spike from going down. Nice execution. Oh, they're halfway there. It's 12-6 now. I'm so glad you followed up on that.
Really good at matching tone as well.
Yeah.
Perfect, I think. But they are indeed halfway there. They just need 6 more rounds. Easy, right? Right. Money is back in play, though. Op v op. Gotta get out of there. Ultimate now invested as well from Coldamenta, trying to force them away, allow progress to be made by the rest of the boys. And in we go. Bone Cold not going to be messing around on this, but JD just shotguns Bone Cold to the chest with that op, just up close at this point now. All of these utilities thrown down, but look at Ryan just catching Starks on the way out. This is looking like it could be wrapped up here. Who do we have left? Coldamenta, Zened, Killers, and Killers doubling down, and this is massive again. Coldamenta finds JD. They're desperate to hold on here. They do not want this to slip away. And there we go. Zened finds Chihuahua, and Korea. Oh, he's a little far off from this, isn't he?
I think Korea was considering coming all the way back towards defensive spawn and maybe flanking Belt, but it was on the minimap. It looked like there was kind of 5 seconds of hesitation. He didn't know which way to go, and then a couple of kills came through, and at that point, he's kind of lost in the flank. No opportunity to find a way back into sight, and Acend will keep 3 up.
Toxin screen down.
They will post their 7th.
Okay, hold on. Chat, do you believe in the comeback? Yes? No. Simple. That's it. Do you believe in the comeback? Is it happening? Do you want me to go all in? Do we start believing now? Do we sell this now? Because look, their money's broken on NIP, right? Like, look, I'm going to sell you on this, all right? I want you guys to get over-invested. The money tatters. You got sheriffs. You got nothing. They're trying to keep that money for those later rounds. They're starting to feel that little bit of nerves. Like, oh, guys, it's only 1 round, but that 1 round. It's elusive. And look, Ascend's money's pretty decent. They've got enough to get whatever they fancy, all the goodies. Go to the shop, get all the pick and mix. Lovely. What's your favourite item out of a pick and mix?
Fizzy worms, obviously.
Nice.
I question that. What's yours?
Look, I go for like 2. I like a little bit of the chocolate buttons were delicious, with the weird little sprinkles on top. You know what I mean? What? And maybe a fizzy cola bottle.
Okay.
Can't go wrong with it. All right, it's game on. 12-7. Let's have a look here. This should be 12-8. Sure.
We're going to try and, I guess, be the solo with that rifle to hold down B. Now that he's shown it, he's actually going to back away. Acend not force their way on and try and punish this one. Again, they've got to read that this isn't going to be a fantastic buy. JD actually invested in the Blade Storm here, so they have the tools on either side. So to JD, didn't spot that barrel. Oh my god, Bone Cold actually slips right underneath him, finds that kill onto Rhyme.
Why is this all so dicey? This all feels so dicey. Okay. So rifle and ultimate. JD's got his ult out. Kriya's got the rifle. They're your danger men for now. And they're both going towards the right site as it stands.
Poison orb emitting.
Kriya waiting in the back lines. Sees nothing for now.
Poison's off.
You can see JD just kind of leaning between the two. That utility gives away the game, and it gives away Bone Cold as well. Here we go. JD looks for an opportunity, doesn't find one. Acend now down to 4 against the 4. Starks are trying to get this plant, and he does. Okay, and they still stand. There's no more instant threats. They do have B-Long control. The Viper Wall dividing the site. This isn't over yet.
This is Cena. We'll actually find Chihuahua here on the way in. Coldham enter. JD as well. So Acend just finding these kills one by one here on NIP. Not able to close the distance, unfortunately. Make the most of this lesser equipment. Okay, they nearly actually lined up versus the Sheriff.
We don't love that. We get a little nervous. Okay. Here we go. Ladies and gents, we're getting close. We're almost there. We're almost there. Now here's the next danger round, right? It's the up and down. It's the up and down of the broken economy. They're back on the guns. They're back off the guns. And there is a moment you're like, but it's fine. Full rifles galore. We do have Rhyme's ultimate. No one else is that close. I guess halfway. Chihuahua around the same. On the other side, we do have Bone Cold. This is the big one. This is where you got to find out if they've got it in them to keep closing this Acend. This is tough though. You know, not a single mistake. You cannot falter.
No. And you're right. This is the one really you look towards, because this is the momentum builder. A couple of these ultimates come online and Acend can lean back on a few more of those structured executions. I'm considering the Hunter's Fury there, but last time we did say was a little preemptive. Yeah, a couple of shots going to get traded back and forwards, and there you go. The Hunter's Fury does get invested. Finds one tag. Yeah, Bone Cold managed to slip away from the second, though.
Okay. This is teetering on a knife's edge. You can feel the intensity. Spike was toyed with for a second then, but it didn't quite make it all the way down. It looks like they're holding for an opportunity of a pick, and there it is. They find it. JD dies to CNED. Great start. Ultimate invested. And Kukos can't ignore it, has to play into it and finds a player you'd want, Bone Cold. And now they're in the open, and suddenly there's threats everywhere. Kriya and Chihuahua called upon now in a 2v3 to deny the comeback, to stop him before it starts, but CNED, he wants this, and he's gonna get it.
He hops up top and finds the fourth as well. Fantastic stuff from him. And then right there, I mean, the same execution going to come out right. This Sage Wall immediately punished, but Akukos finds the most important kill there to give NIP a chance to kind of get that retake. Well, not even retake, really. Actually, the push back on the Spike hadn't even gone down yet. But right there, Bone Cold, perfect timing to throw down his ultimate. Make sure they can reinforce their position, get some site control back. But CNED just popping once again. 4 massive kills. Send on the brink of double digits.
This is when you start getting sweaty, isn't it? You're like, nah, you don't stress it until they get 10. And they about to get 10.
I'm stressing now.
I'm stressing.
But look at it again, momentum builder right now. Bone Cold's ultimate's invested. Keyless 2 away from the lockdown. Coldham enter 1 off the Hunter's Fury. Again, you got to expect them to close this round out. Those ultimates come online, and that's massive for Acend.
Toxins going up.
NIP. We go. Right place. Couple of the right players. Good trade for CNED there. Denying Bone Cold going too hard on this one. Excuse me, Chihuahua going too far into this one. Akukos getting spammed out here, but actually maintaining health and maintains the angle. And now there's problems. It's a 4v3. Zenith's still alive and getting a little overwhelmed here. They can back away. They don't know this yet. They will have to probably toy with that soon. A bit of a stack out, but look who's watching the flank. Rhyme's already considering this. Puts himself towards middle, and they now have to hit the brakes for a second. Allow a pick to come through from somewhere.
30 seconds left.
Starzo no wall. It still has some smokes, but yeah, Coldermentor actually going to open things up once again. Here you go, the challenge comes through. Starzo actually going to swing out. Korea falls JD.
2v2. Tit for tat. And has
14
Rhyme gone on no... Okay, the res comes in. I thought that angle was right for JD. I thought he had it for a second. No, Rhyme now left, and it does not matter. Stark, so to keep this one in check, investing the rest to CNED, gets that up back up. We are at double digits. We might have the comeback on our hands. Suddenly, this goes from just a fun conversation to the real deal, and this is where the sweat's on the brow for NIP. You're starting to get a little uncomfortable. Nothing's quite working, and CNED's doing weird CNED things, and you don't know how to stop it. This is where it all gets a bit sketchy. And look at that money, man. They'll never be without a gun. Yeah. They can keep that wealth now.
This is the thing. Yes, they can't lose around, but the fact that they can play trades, it doesn't matter if they keep 1 alive or 4 alive. The money's in such a situation where they can ride the economy out. And really, I mean, for the attacking team, that plays in their favor, right? If they just always try and find these 3v2s, 4v2s onto one site, it plays into their ball, honestly.
Enemy mark.
Okay, go again. First tag found. And CNED now getting a little bit of pressure. Spot set. There's 3 players here. Now that's a bit of a dirty angle. JD being played away in the corner. Good trade for Killers to allow that to not go unanswered. But they did take down the heavy hitter. CNED's now gone, so it's a 4v4 but without CNED.
Nowhere to run.
Hunter's Fury actually... Yeah, Mr. by Coldermentor shut down Chihuahua's lockdown. Actually going to get a tag as well. Akukos caught out on site after he finds a kill.
Watching here.
But Giles lockdown doesn't grant them site control. We will now get the wall down. He's trying to spam through Rhyme. Can't break it to stop the spike. Now Acend will have an opportunity to play the post plant here with no utility though. Look at the right side of the screen. This is all guns.
Kriya's got a little, but it ain't much. Rhyme's back on it. Here we go. See if he gets anything for this. Okay, bit of information on Killers. That's not bad. Chihuahua, first to touch. Spots out 1, forces the fight. Killers here. Looking for the fight, and it's NIP to find 2, and uh-oh, it's only... Wait, Starkso's on the flank. He's given nothing away yet. Diffuser's going to make it to halfway right about now. They know nothing. It's going to be a surprise. Oh, he's gone down! I thought he might have just had the timing on it, but it just gets ripped away. The comeback's halted. NIP. We'll be seeing how this goes down. CNED already, and look at the amount of utility that's going to be across the board here. Just so much to clear through.
Indeed, CNED is going to get himself tucked outside on short here. Whoa, actually, again, the flash going to go through the wall. CNED going to try and close this kill down onto Rhyme. Neither of them able to find it, but a 1-for-1 trade. JD comes back through and picks up CNED. So, an advantage goes over to NIP early on here.
Poison's off.
Yeah, this is... I want to see that... Oh, Coldermentor, the timing was pretty atrocious from them. Try to go walkabouts in mid to try and maybe pick up those pieces of information that were lost, as they did have that bit of a sloppy trade out down kind of mid-short. And for now, Bone Cold's the one responding quickly towards B. Not quick enough to quite catch the player off who's slipping through towards Elbow. That's going to be a shot to the side of the head pretty soon. No, just about gets away with it. It's Chihuahua on the flank. He just needs the player who's sat towards Hookah to live, and this will be 2 quick kills. Yeah, there's 1. Spots out the second. Yeah, gorgeous work from Chihuahua. Really good positioning. The long flank around Elbow. Couldn't ask for more.
And although we didn't touch this on the agent select as well, Chihuahua being on the Sova. Interesting one that I'm going to have to keep my eye on as this progresses, because again we look towards NIP's defensive half, and Chihuahua, how many times have we seen him in that lurk roll, the anchor roll, solo sight play style from him? So it's actually a big switch up for NIP.
Yeah, and okay, so take into account, let's say, traditionally that Cypher played it 39 times on record. you're going to have it 3 times on sober. So he has played it again. Same with the Killjoy prior to that previous game.
Yeah.
Once. So yes, of course, played it, and they'll play it in their own time. But in official games, nowhere near as much on record in that sort of aspect. It's an interesting one to see, though. I want to see how it applies to him, see if that playstyle works. Looks like the swing's coming in, and actually gets a bit of Chihuahua. That's not bad. Akukos could have been in trouble, but no. Controls it well on both. Could be trying to get those guns back. So I think that was a rifle that got dropped. You can see Coldamenta trying to be around this. And that's good work from Coldamenta. Finds Akukos, and now the second will be big. No, Korea keeps it in check and keeps this round pretty safe.
That'd been huge, actually. Yeah, Korea down to 34 HP. To close that one out, it would have been the upgrade to the Vandal. Now, CNED trying to make his way through pipes here, and Darzo miles away. I guess just looking for an exit. CNED spots the barrel. Be peeling away from sight just yet. Ryan will catch sight of him. You can see here Starzo wants to try and get this Vandal off the board, make it costly for NIP. Although no, he keeps it himself. Korea actually does catch that kill off screen. CNED tries to find one for his own, but nothing left to find there. NIP will post their second. We go 2-0 up, so start initially, I mean, good response from Acend here. This fight, again, look at the damage done with that shock dart as well onto Korea. Finds the kill on the Kukos. It's unfortunate there. Doesn't close out that kill. Because I think he did enough damage with the shock dart there that even just the one headshot from the classic would have closed it out. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're right, that was potentially a rifle then, filtering around. Yeah, a couple more dangers could have been had, but we go again. 3-2 split. Kind of the standard approach from NIP by now. We've seen a lot of aggression towards showers. This is a commonly fought for territory. Killers, though, just flexing on a Kukos. That's not free. Chihuahua unable to use that owl drone as he'd like. And Rhyme slowly making progress. I don't know if Bone Cold spotted that. It doesn't look as though he did. No, caught unawares and vulnerable. That's a big pickup, especially with the SMG now. Now, if that was recoverable, that would have been even bigger, but still good work from Rhyme.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about this a couple of times today already, just the uncharacteristic things we've seen from NIP. Right there, I mean, spread so thin on this default to have somebody full-on challenge that deep in showers. It's strange to see, but Starzo now got it all to do on backside. He's stuck in that slow, but holds the line. Chihuahua will fall. Korea posted up and find that one. Starzo actually going to note out 2 players there. JD up on top of the boxes. Last one. Actually, Starzo's still standing. JD eventually deals with him here, and that's going to give control over to NIP. All 3 players tagged up. JD going to hit the heel on himself. Keelers and CNED got to find a way back in here.
It's a sick bonus round, and look at the damage done. Korea can just operate perfectly on towards that site. Spray away by Keelers, but the crossfire here, JD's position is kind of the spoiler to this. Keelers would have to kind of swing out, hit the shot, and be untradeable, which is going to be very difficult for him to define. And it's the attempt now. Spots him out. Not going to happen. Can't get past the first. JD will find it. And NIP, the bonus is theirs.
Yeah, JD playing that angle perfectly. He's got the drop onto the box and the window drop just at the right angle. Again, if Keyless finds that 1v1, it's definitely doable with Korea being so low.
Player standing.
Oh, actually, Keyless, I didn't even spot that at the time. Keyless nearly actually finds that one through the tube. That would have been a big kill, but like I said, JD's angle just too strong for him to deal with.
Never lose sight.
Now the buy, as I said, that bonus did go to NIP, so their economy's in a wonderful position going forward. Get to stabilize and keep building up that bank. Now on the other side, we do see shotties coming out. Killer's going to be up on towards that, and a couple of sheriffs. So not ideal. NIP just need to try and keep this clean if they can. Make sure they feel out that stack. Give nothing away. This will kind of lean in a little with Chihuahua maybe to try and get that big information as best he can. Sky as well. Already forced away slightly off long. And a lovely start for Rhyme finding CNED. Big beginning.
Yep, Seekers immediately popped on the back of that. NIP going to try. Actually, Rhyme going to double satchel onto sight here. Loads of space off the back of those Seekers. Lots of information as well. JD going to find Bone Cold now. This one pretty much in the bag for NIP. Just got to clean up, and Chihuahua does just that. The flawless round. NIP go 4-0 up.
Good work so far. Now, the buyback in is going to be very important. This is the big round to start with. Bone Cold yet to get on the board, but it's been a pretty quiet start overall for Acend. Yes, you got Killers doing okay, but the rest on 1 kill. On the other side, of course, Chihuahua, JD, Kriya, all putting up numbers, sitting pretty happy.
Enemy remaining.
And was it an op coming out for CNED? I'm pretty sure.
Yes, there you go.
There he is. Let's see what he can do with this. Where is he right now? Let's see what he starts with. They have been consistently annoyed by someone coming through hookah. It has been that Raze play, and there goes half of the map.
Just before that round started, there was literally 6 Astra Stars in showers, I'm pretty sure.
Ooh, the ultimate investment as well is quite unique. Now, that's going to be a curious one, because I feel as though that almost negated CNED's presence, but apparently it makes it look so simple. He's still using that at such close range, and great work from Killers as well, just kind of predicting, or at least kind of dealing with the bounding through Raze. And now Chihuahua trying to even up the score. Not going to see a tag come through yet. No, nothing achieved. And NIP looking worse for wear here. CNED. And a back away now. God damn! The audacity on this man! Walks out, takes a pick, backs away again. And yes, the walls are there. Yes, they can at least kind of contain sight, but they are not impenetrable. There we go. Finally, a wall goes up, but Kriya's in all kinds of problems now. Swung on by a few. Good work, Killers. Good spray adjustment in the end. And Acend, do what is necessary.
You can, once again, you can see, though, NIP trying to use that Astra ultimate to split, the same way we saw on Haven.
They think they could kill me.
Again, the utility from Acend,
Towards an orb.
able to run the clock down enough there, and I mean, ultimately, as soon as that wall goes down, something needs to happen on the side of NIP, and unfortunately, Acend don't give anything away to them. So Acend will post their first round win. Hunter's Fury, Bladestorm, Seekers all available. But then once again, look at the stars and showers.
What showers? I can't see anything. It's all just stars, smokes, and blurs and ultimates. Here we go. Coldamenta going to send it down. Did get a tag on this one, and Kriya looking for an opportunity in the meantime, but nothing quite garnered by it. It's Chihuahua to find the first towards CNED. That's a pick across on towards B. That was off of B long towards the site.
Yeah, look at it. It's all the way in on glass outside tube on site. And that's the operator, so that's a hell of a kill for Chihuahua to find. Not sure if that was on the cooldown of Hila's wall, but on the back of this, NIP actually going to swing back over towards A site. Bone Cold now got himself tucked in a very deep position. Whether or not he gets cleared by this, he has to deal with it.
No one saw on that. Fair enough.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure on this by NIP. They've given Bone Cold the chance to live. The res comes out. Sure, they can suffer through. Bone Cold now is in a bit of danger. Sees the players on short. That's a little bit of a jump peek just to make sure where they are. And now here we go. Bounding through on showers. He should be noted. That should be sent right to him. And Acend just get wiped out on this unless a mad flank comes into play pretty soon. Killers has to be incredible in this. Spike goes down, spots her on the left, sees him, looks towards the side, gets the tag, not the frag, not good enough. Akukos does him in, and now Starkso surrounded on all fronts.
That kill would have been absolutely huge, and actually the wall going to go down, try and box Starzo into lamps here. I'm now repositioned and will find the headshot. NIP strike back immediately, 5-1 now. Yeah, and a lot invested though. I guess, yeah, they have the revive, and that's why they took it a little slow in showers there, but I'm with you. The Bone Cold should have been hard cleared out of that corner as soon as they note his position. Money, I was going to say, money-wise, look at it for Acend here.
It's in a weird spot, maybe why they've called the tactical timeout. Probably a decent idea to go for here, just to kind of talk things through, see what they want to do, because you've got, what, Coldamenta was on like 3k, CNED's a little lower, definitely not op territory, but he does have his ultimate, so may not need it. Killers and Bone Cold, a little light too. This is gonna be a weird round.
See really what they decide to do on the back of it. Doesn't look like they're set up for any early round aggression in showers this time, but it's still a 3-man stack on A and 2 looking towards short. I think they're going to pop the Blade Storm off the rip. Our drone going to find no information, but I'll let them know there's no stack up outside Hooker at least.
Got him. Hawk out.
Clearing through shower now.
Hawk out.
Straight up utility game between the two, but the sad fact is that there'll be a fair crack more left on NIP at the end of this. They do come in with a better buy, of course. Priya. Ooh. Priya's he's not necessarily alone. There is someone not too far away, but he could have been isolated there. And again, it does just look like NIP want to punish any aggression that comes through. They are fighting for shower control. They'll garner that. They're not leaving B absent either. Chihuahua going to get forced away, but gives away position as well. Should at least keep them present in that regard. Oh, they might hit this against a 4-stack, which is going to be a little sketchy.
I was going to say, they've left it so late here that Acend are pretty much well set up to receive this.
Nice wall, though, towards lamps. Rhyme on the swing as well. Really good work from Rhyme there. I actually really love this. Rhyme taking the aggressive swing. Oh. This is beautiful work. One mag just dumps them. And now Acend and Keyless. Now Acend does have his ult, but he needs Keyless to make some space here, because Rhyme's going to just sacrifice himself if required, but he wants it all, he gets it all. Great work from Rhyme. That's perfectly played by him. I love that kind of wall towards the kind of, L-bend or U-haul, whatever you like to call it. I don't really care. But the aggressive take after that, just straight up man play on this.
Yeah, Rhyme there to agree. As soon as that wall comes down, anybody looking to retreat outside of lamps, and I've seen a clean ace like that. Beautiful. Yes, lesser weapons on the side of Acend, but beautiful nonetheless.
There.
6-1 now. Scoreline-wise, this is flat from Acend as well. They're not looking so sharp. We know that Acend can be a game changer in this, though, so I wait with bated breath, but I want to see what they do now, because you're coming up against a team who's going to be able to get that buy going. They'll be able to afford the op, so I want to see if there's maybe a different approach for NIP now. I get that old orb over by B-Long, and they've just garnered that. A little bit of progress made. Look, he's lamb-proven, don't worry, you can't even question it. Keeler's gone, and so's the first man for Acend.
Oh god, that actually does get cleared out of that. Rhyme just switched away weapons, it looked like. Caught sleeping, and Bone Cold will pick up the kill on the back of it. Seekers will reveal Acend's position, but the other one headed towards B. Looks like they're going to try and follow this one up, but it expires just before getting inside Hooker, so no real information, valuable information at least, gained off that one.
Now, if Acend double stack towards long, they actually could do really well if they find this fight cleanly, because you get such a nice catch on the cross coming out from Hooker, but timing's gonna be a huge factor. Good flash, the flash off the back, but there is Bone Cold needs to double, he can't. Chihuahua comes right back in, and now the site's theirs. This is gonna be NIP's plant for sure at this point. Taking a second or two, actually, maybe not. Kriya hit the brake for a second. Found Golden Enter and Acend. A pixel out of place he will find, but the kill is JD's, and the round is NIP's.
That was such a good flash as well. Such a good flash. Unfortunately, Bone Cold spray just gets away from him. Not able to find the second. That's tough as well, because like you said, I mean, they're well set up there. If that crossfire finds both players on long, really, they can reset, and they have two angles to hold on to B. Forces NIP to make the next move. Yeah, I mean, I've got to see a bit of a switch here from Acend. They're really struggling on defense.
Blinded. There.
I'm gonna get checked on here. No way out of it. You can see the intention of Bone Cold and Starkso. Knows there's another. Oh, that's gorgeous again from Rhyme. He's on point today. Acend just doing some aim training. Quickly, though, you got to get ready for your match. 7-1.
The second one was clean. He's
Oh,
going to get a
look.
weapon upgrade here, though.
Are any of us really doubting CNED's ability? Like, really? I mean, he's got his ult. He doesn't even need the rifle. I mean, man's fine. Grabs the gun. Has the TP if fancies. But obviously we know more than he does, unaware that they aren't just rapping through showers. Spike now down.
Spike planted.
What are you meant to do with this?
Yeah, Rhyme he's been here for so long now, just posted. Watching the spawn. Again, the plant is good for his side. Going to find that angle. And Wise
Blocking sight.
back away onto site. Enforce here with a Kukos, and they set up another crossfire here. Really difficult. CNED wants to recover this round. The jiggle peek and Rhyme swings on it. That's another headshot. Rhyme just clean with it this round.
Okay, when did
Once
NIP
again.
become an attacking team?
It's about, what, an hour ago?
I mean, look, Acend are attacking team, right? We know that. We know that. That's a freebie. We got that info. We've got the memo. We're fine. We understand that. But NIP? I mean, alright. I'm excited. I'm just confused.
Well, this kind of leans back in the other direction when we talk about uncharacteristic from NIP, which we've touched on today already, but this is fantastic to see. I mean, Haven, the same concerns came out once again for me, which is those fact-finding rounds, right? And unless they find loads of value off giving away those early rounds, it's kind of difficult to watch. But through Icebox and the first 9 rounds of Bind here, it's night and day.
Can we just observe a game like that? Above. Very aesthetic. Kind of like it. Yeah, it is night and day. And 8-1 is an incredible scoreline. And Acend aren't stopping this. CNED's being kind of neutered in approach. They're not getting any of that same kind of impact that CNED can have. He's just not having the opportunity to. And here we go. Finally gets a 1v1, wins it. Now that's no surprise. But Rhyme's been filthy again, these trades. Coldamenta, okay. I thought he was just running that. If he went through all willy-nilly. No. Now though, NIP, a lot of attention drawn towards Rhyme here. And it is just Rhyme, keep in mind. Now the ultimate is down towards Showers on the other side as well. So it's going to be hard to find approach. Both extremities are being patrolled. You've got CNED over towards B-Long, and you do have the Viper ultimate over towards A Showers. So really your options are going to be Hookah or Short, and Bone Cold just gets a freebie.
Blinded.
NIP really 30 seconds left now, and they've got a completely fresh approach. Look at B's site here. CNED will catch a Kukos on the jump.
One enemy remaining.
And re-peek onto Rhyme. Korea, the last man standing, will find the headshot though, but 20 seconds, got to find another one if he wants to find this plant. Will do, but Coldamenta swings for the trade. Then we'll post their second, and ultimate-wise, yeah, Keeler's obviously invested over towards Shower there.
30 seconds left.
I love this here again, just swings back onto it. Just another one of those confidence plays from CNED.
I have to ask the question, where's the rest of them though? Bone Cold, I want to see him right up there with him. I want to see Starkso, Coldamenta, you know, these kind of impact players from the first couple of maps have been a little quiet. Not loving this yet from Acend. I want to see a little bit more in the form of overall consistency. Now, that's an interesting investment of the ult to start with.
Yeah, and it's greeted close enough. Keeler's just completely negates it, but Rhyme, look at that. Actually, Keeler's getting pulled back towards Showers there, nearly getting pinched with the showstopper. The kind of thing that we want to see. Yeah, Bone Cold, actually. We'll find a Kukos on the cross.
Poison's on.
It's a problem for NIP. They've kind of hit a bit of a brick wall here, and they've just been boxed on in. I mean, look at the flank as well, Starkso. This could be so big, the timing. Just dips around the corner, just counting a couple of seconds. Yeah, the timing's excellent. Almost made a mistake, but no, Bone Cold now breaks through. This is excellent stuff again. And that was lovely work from us. And that's the team I'm waiting to see.
Yeah, I mean, because I hate to say it, obviously there was this slight switch up here for Acend. We look back on previous performances, right? Even against NIP previously, Bone Cold on the Brimstone, we know that on attack how heavily they like to lean on that post plant. Here they don't have that opportunity. Yes, they still have keyless. But for me, I mean, I was looking for Acend to have a strong defensive half. Like I said, the expectation is for them to flex out on attack. So gonna have to see a different look from them, but they can close this out. 8-4 would be, I mean, a miracle considering how this half has gone.
Look, we don't. Surely it's not another mad comeback, is it? Sure. I don't know.
Sound like Yinsu now. He's just trying to bait it.
I know. We've got a whole other best of 3 after this, mate.
Yep.
It feels like a marathon between these two, but Acend with the first on towards Akugos. I'm looking to see if that reaction comes from Rhyme. It looks like he tried to get some work done towards B while that was going on, but didn't find as much success as maybe he had wanted. And no opening starts, no entries being given away. Bone Cold on the bait. Yeah, no easy beginnings here.
NIP happy to sit back now. We've seen this a couple of times when they lose out in the first blood. I guess just waiting out the utility. See if Acend try and flex at all on the back of it, but Bone Cold gonna get
You will not kill
a little bit set up. Yeah, JD actually gonna get Akukos back on his feet, but 30 seconds now and pressure mounting here because there's another snake bite to stop that showers push coming through. It's gonna be a desperation hit from NIP here. The Hunter's Fury gonna draw things down as well.
Oh, this is
Down A.
not pleasant at all, is it? This is well held, of course, by Acend, but NIP just having nothing.
Player standing.
Ooh, and CNED just gonna make sure of that. Bye-bye.
Well, Acend will close out 8-4, and that really
Switching sides.
the best
It's enough.
scenario. Yeah, it's the best scenario you can hope for with the way that started out. Again, here just again for NIP, this relies on Acend basically using all the tools at their disposal. Right there, both mollies go down and showers. The Hunter's Fury there. It's the perfect angle to line that up for showers as well. They're kind of boxed in that tight space. See now really what Acend have up their sleeves. So I'm looking towards some really interesting executions coming out on the back of the Astra and the Viper combination. What are you giggling at?
I can't tell which one's a which on the map now.
Nope.
But okay, 4 rounds, I genuinely say is enough for Acend. If I want to see them pick up the pistol to start off with, I think that's kind of one of the key points of this is to give them enough build back room. Remember, they lost, if I'm not mistaken, the pistol and the bonus in the previous, and then still...
Yeah.
Oh no, I can't remember how it went down. My brain is mush. I think it was something along those lines. So they need a little more than that. Now, shoulder peeks aside, Kukos can fall away from this. We'll move away from the angle, forces the play away from long, so Acend just going through the motions of clearing as they go. They've drawn a lot of utility out of the player over by B long, which is a Kukos.
It's looking at it. Rhyme's got his nade. And Akukos still got 1 flash, but obviously now with the nade being used, there's not an awful lot left for NIP. And actually on the flip side of that, look at Acend, still looking pretty healthy utility-wise. Korea and find something early on in Hooker here, but I think initially, and Acend now leaning heavily, creeping towards B site.
30 seconds left.
Priya, done. Starkso just bounds through. Oh, Starkso, hello. That ain't bad. And Acend just burst onto the site. This is theirs all day long. Rhyme and JD trying to just bully the way through, and they're getting a couple of kills, but not enough. JD now left with it all in front of him, and Bone Cold says no. So here we go. Acend, find one back. We have to find out, was it enough from NIP? 8 rounds. Was it enough?
looking back, and I mean, last time, obviously on the 13-9 scoreline, it was 6-6 in the first half, and NIP defended first, so a bit of a switch up this time around. But you think toward round 2 conversion, bonus round can potentially always go in the attacker's favor with a fast hit, and that brings it straight back to 8-7.
Taking that back.
This is the one I look towards Acend. Really, the big tick in the box is getting this one done. Rhyme spotted out deep on site here, but JD actually going to open things up onto Cena. That's on short, so that's a big kill to open things up for NIP.
How did he?
Don't know. I just completely unopposed. It looked like he hasn't taken any damage in response to that.
A little strange, but okay.
With 3 people
Maybe
stacked there as well.
Yeah, maybe just a fadeaway shot? I don't know how he got there without getting any damage towards him. Rhyme now, going to be pressured on the side. Flash comes out. Rhyme on the swing. Not today. Nice work from Acend to get a couple, but Korea's still being a bit of a threat. There's still plenty of danger in this. It is a 2v3. Keyless and Bone Cold trying to do something with this. Bone Cold trying to work through. Might catch Korea. No. Nice work with the utility. Keyless now trying to stay alive. Pressure comes in. Well handled. This is really nice play between each other. The Kukos, though, there is a chance on Keyless. Lower on HP. Makes it a little further ahead of the utility. Oh, dear. Okay. Well, guess we wait here for a second.
I love that, though. Just on the off chance that Kukos did manage to catch. Fortunate timing through. Molly comes through to stop that push. 46 HP now, a classic in hand. Very difficult for him to find a way back onto this. Keela's actually juggling the Bulldog away. Want to give him the opportunity to try and save a weapon at all either. The Vandal there just kind of baiting him. Actually, we'll find Keyless. Gonna tap it. Raw Bone Cold just a little bit closer. Again, right here. But just okay. Beautifully
it's
done.
Fine,
Beautifully done. But does he save the Vandal as well? That's.
Don't know if he gets far enough. Yeah, he does. Nice.
Now, how many of them came into that with pistols? I know there was one ghost carried through, but they now effectively don't get like a full bonus, right? They have to full buy back into this. They can't ride anything out from the previous round.
It's incredibly disruptive, and again, credit to Kukos for that. Very well done to try and kind of bring this back down, because now we have an even purchase, essentially. You look at the money balance, it's pretty much on par. So, navigating through the benefit they could have had, NIP now lead 8-6. Continuing this, going forward. And Acend, I don't know what Acend we're going to get. Their attack side are normally so formidable. And at this point, once again, the battle for Shower continues. We do have that slower kind of play towards Hookah, at least for JD. He's going to get a pretty decent angle. Just kind of lock that down. We have to see how patient NIP are going to be with this.
Scout destroyed.
Yeah. The 3-man lean, actually. Chihuahua's position noted? It's okay.
Ooh.
He was staring into that corner there, but nothing really to clear him out unless he dry peeks on, and Ryan will show his position as well.
Oh, this is horrible, man. Knife's edge stuff.
I've got your trail.
Okay, what, 30 seconds now? Where's the opener? I mean, Cened's dead. Rhymes just posted an aid down, so now you're gonna have, what, 2 players towards, I think, lamps? Tucked in towards us. You still have the one tucked towards the back of sight. This is so weird with these smokes coming in the way. It's divided with these walls. Rhyme just trying to wait on the other side of this. And this is the difference with Astra. This is a very unique post plant now.
Oh, okay. JD just swings on that, though. Keyless still has both mollies, but again, the diffuser's coming through so early that it's not even going to matter. Rhyme's just sticking this one. It comes through. Plaza will find a constellation or two, but NIP squeezed that one out. Again, a perfect example, not giving Acend an opportunity to lean back on that post plant. And right there, usually, I mean, I'll say usually Bone Cold's the one to fire his molly first as Brimstone.
True.
Usually the one to kind of buy that time. Get some time, allow Keyless or the Viper in this scenario to get to that lineup position. Again, because if you lean on that too early, it's a body away from sight.
I think Astra's going to be such a big discussion going forward, and JD's under early pressure. I'll come to this in a moment's time. This does slow down the pace a little, of course. Play up towards B-Long as well, and Kukos going to deal with that. Troubles aplenty. Trying to get the full information he can. Coldamenta noted. Again, this default holds for now. They have gained shower control. They've pushed away the B-Long control. This isn't a bad start for Acend, considering what they're working with, which is Sheriff, Ghost, and Sheriff, and then the 2 rifles.
Yeah, looks like the Ned gonna try and reset for this heal potentially. He's grouped up with Starzo. Kukos gonna send out the Seekers, gonna get some information here, but weirdly enough, actually, that one didn't spot out Cena. It went straight past him, so I'm not,
feature.
Yeah, I'm
It's
not
a feature,
entirely
man.
sure how that works, but
I swear Seekers have been struggling recently. Like, they're getting caught on walls and stuff. They're having a really rough start to the year. Rhyme, however, not. Finding CNED again. CNED's going to be starting to get so mad about this. Naded twice now. And Rhyme still lives, and he's a nuisance being here. They want to clear him as best they can. Killer's just going to kind of put him into the box for now. Okay. Put that down. He can't really do too much. They can at least keep some part of this site safe. Now the spike is planted. A 4v4 post plant.
My world.
and actually, yeah, he's going to get the ultimate down nice and early. Bone Cold and Coldamenta find 2 kills. Now it's just on Kriya and a Kukos here, and there's so much chaos on site right now. Bone Cold's position noted now. Coldamenta with a perfect pinch, and Kriya just got to try and find something, do some damage to the economy, but a nice round. I was going to question it, and seeing it going down to such low HP, Starzo not opting to heal him there. I guess, waiting for somebody else potentially to take some damage. But the fact that he died to the nade explosion, right? It wasn't even like the trickle damage. It wasn't the shells that actually ended up clearing him up. So it's really weird, because if Cena's still going to be the front man there, I would have maybe expected a bit of a heal to come out.
I'm just trying to get my head around some of these post plants with...
Let it play out. Just let it roll.
It's just so much utility on the site, man. It's just like... And here's one wall, here's another. Here's some acid on the floor, but also a couple more walls for you. Ooh, that time not so nice. The CNED, it was 2-0 in that little battle. Now 2-for-1. Gets himself on site and it's all theirs. This was a stack towards A. There was 4 players towards the A site, and as we can see, not the right place, but I don't mind a stack. You got to try it out sometimes, see if you can make something work. You can't just play it like normal. It doesn't work that way. CNED, just going full
Another headshot.
Eco Cobra. Loving it.
This time around, again, not that it's going to matter here. The numbers advantage pretty strong on site. Coldamenta will find Kriya, but Keeler's left in that late lurk up through market, so there's no risk in leaning onto that post plant. If anything did go horribly wrong on site, but it's flawless nonetheless. Acend now bring it to just a 1-round deficit.
Okay. Know that traditionally Ascend's strong point is their attack. We've always spoken about how diligent they are on that and how much we enjoy stylistically what they can bring and the kind of power between, traditionally it's CNED and Bone Cold, but really it's quite an even spread below it's below CNED. You have Killers on 12, Starksoak 10, Bone Cold 11, and Coldamenta 7. Not too much disparity on the NIP side either. A little heavier towards the top with Rhyme and JD. Rhyme's just been getting freebies on CNED somehow. Those nades have been so annoying to deal with, I'm sure. But as it stands, this is a close game. Now the money is back in for NIP. They were on that eco before. They went for just a site stack and hope for the best. No worries. I mean, it's back in enough for a buy. All right? Back in for a buy.
Good thing is, I mean, actually, yeah, 1,200 overall left in the bank. for an IP, but a couple of ultimates online and a couple very close as well. Coldamenta with a very early Hunter's Fury over towards Market. Seekers invested as well. Acend not able to close the gap though. Waiting this one out. I mean, actually,
What they're waiting on, counter utility?
yeah, NIP able to reset.
Spike
They're
But
already
they've got a
stacked up
spike
for
plant.
this. Yeah.
Look how much site control they've been able to maintain though. Like NIP playing back into this, they're gonna have to try and clear site. That's great work from Akukos to be able to clear this much, get that much info, get right back into site. Now we see Viper's utility coming out to play. That's going to at least divide the site in some way, force the fight from CNED. Rhyme gets it, now just throws his body into it, gets Coldamenta. JD pushes forward, expects the peek from Lamps and finds it, and then forcing Killers out of the smoke, and he's done for. Starkso now left in the 1v4, and this retake was absolutely picture perfect. And sadly for Starkso, he can't go any further than that.
That was interesting there. Again, playing so close after NIP give it up, right? We've talked about Ascend's one kind of goal is to get in and get those dry plants, right? Yeah. On the back of, you know, one or two smokes or a flash and the wall going up. The fact that they're given that and then they play it so close, it's kind of weird to see because Keyless is all the way, he's on rugs. He's in cubby on short. So again, taking that fight so early on, we credited NIP for it, but to not have that deep setup on the back of it, it's just a little odd to see there.
Interesting 3-play stack down middle as well. You had 3 players push forward from the defending side. Acend though going to try and take Shower's control, but they've left basically the extremities open. You don't have the fight for Shower, you don't have the fight for B Long. I wonder how much information NIP really have to work with on this.
Coleman's not going to actually spot anybody out with that, so value initially. And actually both members left on B now as they did rotate one away, but it's Free and Rhyme, and they're both on tube. In tube, sorry, I should say.
Is Rhyme pushing forward?
Looks,
okay.
Well, yeah, he's going to get a deep angle here. So I prefer this setup here. Korea can maybe take a little bit of a peek, spot somebody out, and bait somebody in for Rhyme.
30 seconds left.
Just trying to keep my eyes on that spike. It's just been collected now. They need to get progress building early. Because if that spike gets here and they've got nothing, it's 20 seconds until site hit. Here we go. Rhyme decides to go on the first. He had to in the end. CNED makes it tricky though. Now Korea's down to 11 HP, so Bone Cold just breaks on in. Now 10 seconds. You can see them trying to catch that spike on the cross. 10 seconds. They need the spike to be down pretty soon. Starkso left in the 1v2 though. He can't find the time nor the space. And it was too late as NIP make it to 11 now. This is scary. This is pressure time for Acend. These boys come in as favorites. Now, NIP, I've got to say, Rhyme to me has stood out here in this game. One, he's just been keeping track of CNED. He has not let him get away with it. And if you're going to say mark your man, fair enough.
Yeah.
You know, this is straight up, he's yours for this game. If you lock him down, we have a chance. And you know what? Rhyme's been doing well at it.
As indeed, as I'll be honest, the longer this goes on, the cracks start to show in this Acend. That right there is a round that's played out in a way that we wouldn't expect of Acend. Very slow, very progressive, right down to the wire, and it's this scrappy attempt to salvage. Come around though. It's again a slow approach early on. JD with this wall down in hooker, and he's posted right behind it here, so looking for that early map control. And that 1v1 you're talking about, Rhyme and CNED trading back and forth a little bit on short, but it's actually Korea to open things up here. Coldamenta will fall.
With Coldamenta down, it'll be a little bit trickier to split through towards B. The crossfire gets a little bit tougher to break. JD trying to get out of here. Oh no, he's just gone towards Korea. What have you done? Oh no, you baited me out. That's a... just straight up baits out his buddy by sheer accident. Flying in, Bone Cold finds 2. Chihuahua does trade through, so now back to a 3v3. Spike is on the site, and Killers is going to keep Player towards the TP locked for now. It's a bit of a cat and mouse game, but Rhyme gonna move forward, take a bit of site control. The Kukos trying to find Kiles. They're now left in a big battle. Whoever wins this can lock down a huge portion of the map. And Kukos says, screw it, I'm going through towards Hookah. But Zenith finding Chihuahua is big as Rhyme now tries to creep closer, finds him, marks his man once again. Oh, Rhyme! That's sublime, but now look at this. Kiles, that post plant is dirty, and now here comes the biggest problem. Can they get to halfway? Yes, but now they need to find out how to get around this, and Kiles finds a Kukos. He needs the second as well. Time. There's not much left of it. Can Rhyme do anything about this? I don't know if he can. Killers is pretty far away, but he's going to stick this. Oh, it's so good for Rhyme!
Oh my word. Keyless again resets towards Fountain for that lineup, and both members of Acend fall so quickly that he can't play the time on the first molly. He has to throw them both at the same time and then go challenge. Oh, that's heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. All they needed to do was survive on long. All they needed to do.
Tell Rhyme that. Tell Rhyme to just let him survive on long. He just bullied in there.
Oof. That's tough. NIP put themselves on series point now, though.
Hawk out. Blinded.
A lot to ask of I was going to say, a lot to ask of Acend here. Wait.
It's a scary time now. Spike. Where is the spike, actually? Was that being planted? Wait, what on earth just happened?
The back and forth Astral Walls.
Oh, I was like, where is this new site that they've got the plant on? But what I see now is a 1v4. And this is going to be all well over.
Oh, my word. Acend crumbling towards the end of this series here. NIP holding strong, stabilizing after that map 1 loss. A 13-8 victory here on Bind, and